Now, this is case number 116 on the calendar in the matter of Pelletier versus Kane. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Pelletier,
yes.
It was your brother who was married to the defendant?
It was my wife's brother, Your Honor.
Your brother was married to the defendant at the time of his death?
Yes, Your Honor.
However, it's a rather long story before that, according to your complaint. According to your complaint, your parents were also alive, and there came a time when they came to live with you?
Yes.
And they came to live with you because they were in failing health?
Yes.
And at the time they came to live with you, your brother was living with them.
Right.
He had suffered a breakdown of some sort, and he was living with and being cared for by his parents.
Yes.
So you decided to take your mother, your father, and your brother into your home.
Yes.
Shortly thereafter, your father passed away. Is that right?
Yes.
And shortly thereafter, your mother passed away, several months later, leaving your brother. You okay? Your brother was, for both ladies, or
No, I don't need one.
your brother was visiting someone, and he suffered a heart attack?
No. He was in jail in South Carolina.
He was in jail?
Yes.
After we had got him out of the hospital, Your Honor, his last stay in the hospital in November of '99, he was very bad off, and we still tried
He was
to...
in a psychiatric hospital?
Yes, it was, ma'am. We still tried to maintain some semblance of living for him, and we still maintained the apartment that we had gotten for her mom and her dad, and we left him in there, let him stay in there. We supplemented his income and helped him with his monthly expenses. He had, one evening, had taken his mother's automobile and left without telling anybody. I received a call on a Saturday afternoon that he had been incarcerated in South Carolina for some frivolous type crimes up there.
And how did he die in South Carolina?
He committed suicide in the jail, Your Honor.
Okay, and what did you do?
We were notified by the Clarendon County Jail that evening, and I immediately called the defendant, his estranged wife, and let her know that he had committed suicide, that he was dead. And we had several subsequent conversations over the next couple of days, and we had started making the arrangements, and that we were going to travel to South Carolina to pick up whatever personal effects he had left, along with his remains. And I had talked to the coroner up there, and we had made all the arrangements. I had very nice conversations with Mrs. Kane. We agreed, we bought her a plane ticket to come to Florida. We was going to let her stay in our home. We had a service planned for January 14th. We arrived in South Carolina on January 11th that afternoon, stayed there that evening. 9 a.m. I had an appointment with the coroner, the medical examiner.
Was Mrs. Kane there?
No, she was not.
Go ahead.
9 a.m. we walked in, and he was there with the chief of police. And they were very sad to inform us that they'd been notified the day before that Mrs. Kane had already obtained a lawyer in Sumter, South Carolina, pursuing charges, and that they notified the funeral home that if they released his remains to us, they were going to take legal action against them. So, Your Honor, in the 30 years that I've been married to this lovely woman, that was absolutely the hardest thing that I have ever had to do, was to leave there. And there were tears in everybody's eyes that day, that we could not leave there with his remains.
So tell me exactly what you are suing her for.
There was a loan that the defendant had with my wife's parents, a $2,500 loan that they had gotten from my wife's parents in November of 1997, which they were making regular and reoccurring monthly payments. And I have a detailed log of that my wife's mother kept. It's in her handwriting. It's not an agreement, but it's a very detailed ledger log that she recorded every payment she received from the defendant.
Well, the defendant says that she and her husband were in fact making payments on this loan until after your father-in-law died. She says that your mother-in-law then said to her, you don't have to bother to make any more payments on this loan. Is that what your defense is?
I understand that, Your Honor. I had a conversation with Mrs. Kane, my wife's mother, Sarah Kane, in July of 1999. We were helping supplement her income also, and we had a discussion about this, and she was depending on that money to live on. She was on a very fixed income, and I told her then that she needed to notify the defendant and tell her to keep on making those payments.
Is there any evidence that after July she resumed making the payments?
No, there is not. The logbook goes up to July.
So then, what you're saying is there was, in fact, in all probability, a conversation with her about not making the payments because you told her that she should resume making the payments because you couldn't continue to subsidize her.
Exactly.
Well, but there is no information that she did, in fact, tell her the loan is not forgiven.
No, there is not, Your Honor.
Well, then,
There is not.
clearly from the evidence that you have just presented to me, it is a problem because if the payments stopped on or about the time of your dad's death and did not resume, and you clearly, Mr. Pelletier, had a conversation with your mother-in-law and said to her, well, you can't let her stop making those payments to you.
Right.
That means she must have said to you, I told her she didn't have to make the payments anymore. Because your response was, well, you have to tell her she has to start making the payments again.
Exactly.
But then there's no evidence that she did.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. So then let's not deal with the loan. What else are you suing Ms. Kane for?
After that point in time, after January 12th, Mrs. Kane stopped taking all of our phone calls concerning the arrangements or what was going to happen. So we canceled the service in Florida and never was able to talk to her. On January 26th, I received this letter from Mrs. Kane informing us, and it's here in the letter, that she wanted us to go to South Carolina again, pick up the ashes, bring them to Florida, and have a service. I immediately called the funeral home, and they informed me that no, indeed, that was not the case. The following Monday, I received a call from the defendant's daughter saying that, well, now she's changed her mind again. On or about February 1st, I made another phone call to the defendant. I told her, I said, Diana, it's been a month since you left his remains at the funeral home. We need to do something. We're in grief, and it's a very, very hard time. So finally, I called, and I talked to her, who was the head of the funeral home. I said, I'm sending you a check for $1,485. I want you to send the ashes to Maine. And we had moved the whole service and planned a big service up in Maine on February 5th. We traveled to Maine on the 4th and get to the church, our family church, on the 5th, and all the friends and relatives were there. The ashes were not there, and the defendant was not there. To this day, Your Honor, we still do not know the whereabouts of the ashes or any of it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
They had forged my dad's name and draw out all of his money out of his account on the day of his death. And he said to me, call your lawyer and do not press charges on my wife for forging the checks. The day of his death, they did this.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Reggie and Linda Pelletier say their sister-in-law, Diana Kane, owes them for an unpaid loan and for her husband's funeral expenses.
Okay. Tell me, Mr. Pelletier, what money you're suing her for?
We are suing her for the $1,485 that we paid to the funeral home.
Well, did she agree, Mr. Pelletier, that you could make the arrangements to have the ashes sent to Maine?
Oh, absolutely. I talked to her on the phone, her and her daughter, and on February 1st, I spoke to both her and her daughter. Said, I'm sending a check, Federal Express, to the funeral home. The ashes are going to be shipped out immediately. We posted the obituary in the paper and informed her.
Okay, no, but did she say okay? Or did
Yes,
you
she
just
did.
tell her?
No, she said, okay, that was fine. She wanted us, I said, we need to have a service, and we shipped the ashes to Maine, and she agreed to that.
Did you agree to that?
No, I did not.
What, you want to talk?
Yes.
Who are you?
I'm her daughter. I'm Melissa Woodway, and I've been with my mom, and I've been doing the phone calls with Reggie. I had a phone conversation, I believe it was on February 5th, I believe, pertaining to the ashes. We agreed, I remember my mom writing that letter for us to go to, I believe, Florida and spread the ashes on in the ocean. Only did we receive that they had forged my dad's name and draw out all of his money out of his account on the day of his death. And only he said to me, he said, I will send the check, Federal Express, right now, if you call your lawyer and do not press charges on my wife for forging the checks. That was what he said to me. It was not an agreement. That's how it went.
Okay. Let's deal with these checks because this is part of a counterclaim. Did you ever draw money out of your brother's account?
Yes, I did.
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Okay. When was that?
That was on February 6th, Your Honor.
There was January 5th and there was January 10th. And we have the checks here.
Can I see the checks?
You read the checks, Mom.
Your Honor, we have the deposit slips where we had deposited the money in his account.
I'm going to take a look at everything, sir.
The day of his death, they did this.
And I have the checking account on back. They forged my husband's name and they put their money in their checking account.
See, my mom has been going through a lot. She's a lot, so I've been standing by her through all this. Now, also is, during the phone conversations, there was a matter of 25 phone. I've never spoken to Linda. I've never met her before, and it was nice meeting you. Reggie, I had spoken to Reggie because since they had drawn this money out of my dad's account, I figured that was enough to pay for the funeral, for the coroner and for the cremation. They refused. They refused to send them to have that money. That was their money.
So tell me, where did this money come from that where do you claim it came from his account?
He got, sorry.
There was $920, Your Honor, that was acquired from the estate account of Sarah Kane for the month of November and December. The balance of that was $800 that was in his account. The $2,588, as you can see, we deposited in his account.
From where?
That was the proceeds from a life insurance policy, of which he was entitled to 1/4 of that.
So that's his 1/4.
No, his 1/4 of the $2,588.
So why did you deposit the whole thing in his account for?
We deposited the whole thing in his account so we could disperse it out of his account. I mean, that's the way his mother wanted it.
Well, that makes it a little too complicated, sir. But even if you deposited that money in his account, this becomes his money. You can't, by law, write a check and sign his name. You understand that?
I understand that, ma'am.
Okay, so you can't do that. And if there was money put into the account, $800 was his?
That's correct.
Was his?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And according to you, 25% of $2,500
Exactly.
would have been his.
Exactly, Your Honor.
Right? Which more than covers this $1,485.
That is correct.
Right? So that would at least make this a wash with regard to money.
Correct.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Is there any way I could show you some pictures of their home with my dad?
No.
No?
For what?
To see a picture of Fred.
No, I don't have to see Fred.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Reggie and Linda Pelletier say their sister-in-law, Diana Kane, owes them for an unpaid loan and for her husband's funeral expenses.
Now, Ms. Kane, you have a counterclaim for these checks and for a lot of mental anguish.
Yes.
So I have a few questions for you. How long had it been since you hadn't lived with your husband?
I lived with my husband for 2.5 years. But I was going to Florida to see my husband.
When were you married?
June 21st, 1996.
So you weren't married very long.
But we've been 4 years this month.
But you didn't live together for 2 years.
Due to his parents being...
Just a second. You didn't live together for 2 years. He lived with his parents.
Right.
You were separated from him for a while. He had a mental breakdown?
He had a breakdown back in January 27, 1997. He was home with me.
And after that, he went and lived with his parents for a while.
And he came back home.
What?
Okay. He had gone to Florida because Nana and Papa were sick.
He stayed there.
Right, he stayed there with
all right.
Nana
He was
and Papa.
separated from your mom.
Right, they lived in
Okay.
different residents,
They-
yes.
That's what separated means. He was
Right.
separated from your mother.
Right.
Is there currently a lawsuit against the state in South Carolina that was filed by you or your mother on behalf of your father's estate with regard to him committing suicide while in the jail?
Yes, we...
Okay. I know that.
Can I elaborate a little bit more?
No, you don't have to elaborate. I could have told you that. You hired a lawyer, and the lawyer said if you
Okay.
commit suicide while you're in jail, that means the county is negligent, and that means that you have a good lawsuit.
Right.
And you hired a lawyer for that.
That's right.
Okay. What's the status of that case?
We're not too sure of it right now.
Okay. Can I finish Reggie's case, please?
No, not necessary. They're not getting any money because these
Okay.
checks covered that money. What?
Is there any way I could show you some pictures of their home with my dad?
No.
No? I'm just saying...
For what?
To see a picture of Fred.
No, I don't have to see Fred.
Okay.
No. Pay attention.
Okay.
This is all about money.
It shouldn't be.
It is all about money.
Okay.
That's what it's about. That's why you hired a lawyer
Right.
to sue, right?
Right.
Where are Fred's ashes?
They're
That's
with
what I
us.
want to
I
know.
bought an urn.
What?
I bought an urn for my husband.
Where are they now?
They're at home right now with me.
Yes. Yeah.
Miss Pelletier, I'm going to just try to make you feel a little bit better, if I can. I got this case. I got it. Did your brother have any children?
No,
Do you know if he had a will?
no, he did not.
He died intestate, Your Honor, no will.
If he died intestate, you understand, even if he was married to this lady for an hour, she has the right to make the funeral arrangements, she has the right to take the ashes or the body, she has the right to do all of that, even though he was your brother for a lot longer than an hour. Be nice if you could see the ashes, they're really not important.
I know I put my mom and dad in the same bay, and that's where he would have wanted to go.
Okay. But you can't make that judgment because that's not what the law says. The law says you cannot make that judgment. The law says that the person who is the next of kin, and in this case, even if they were separated, she's the next of kin. And she's permitted to make those. Stop playing with the papers over there.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Now, how long did you know Fred?
I knew Fred since 1995.
So for a very, very short period of time, you knew Fred as an adult. He didn't
I
raise
love-
you. He didn't raise you. You met him in 1995. According to your mother, in 1997, which is less than 2 years, he had a nervous breakdown.
Right.
So don't tell me about the love that you had, all right? That's her brother.
That's right.
If anyone should be involved in making the arrangements and making sure that his last wishes would have been fulfilled, your mother should have consulted them and done that. She didn't. Everybody got very excited and very involved about hiring a lawyer and suing the county where he committed suicide. His memories and his soul are most important.
That's right.
You have that. And there is nothing that any court is going to do to make you feel better about that. You know, your husband is very articulate. He told the story very well. This was the wrong thing to do. I understand how it happened. I would assume that nothing is going to come of it. It should not. But you never can tell when people are interested in money. You never can tell what they're going to do.
That's correct.
Don't worry, she's not going to jail. That's all.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have seats, please.
Mr. McMahon, according to the complaint that I read, you and the defendant leased an apartment to live together. When you moved into the apartment, you put down half the security deposit. You also purchased some old furniture together. When you separated, you did not receive your security deposit back, nor the value of half the furniture that you purchased. That's what you want.
That's
right?
correct, Your Honor.
The defendant says this is pretty much a joke because you really owe her money and she has a counterclaim. When did you lease this apartment?
I believe it was in July of '98, June or July.
And how long did you live together?
On and off for probably a year and a half.
When did you finally separate?
About probably 5 months ago, permanently.
And how long did you actually live in the apartment?
I actually lived in the apartment full-time for approximately 2 months before I got thrown out the first time.
And then you moved back.
And then I moved back
Well, so let's have all the months together that you actually lived there.
probably 4 months straight, on and off for probably a year and a half,
And how much was your security deposit that you put down?
$150.
Now, tell me about this furniture that you purchased together.
First, we bought a washer and dryer. I paid $75. She paid $75.
Okay. What's next?
The next is the furniture, which her aunt was selling, and again, we each paid $75 for the
No, we
furniture.
did not.
You'll have your
That's
chance.
wrong, Your
You'll have
Honor.
your chance. So that is $275 and $150, $425. How did you pay your half of the rent, which comes to her counterclaim?
With check, with a check.
With checks.
I wrote my checks out to her.
Let me see them.
I don't have them. She packed all my stuff up.
He packed it all himself.
Mr. McMahon.
That's not true.
See, the problem is, she says that you lived together a total of 6 months. You say 4 months. The defendant says that you only paid rent for 2 of those months,
That is correct. But the only reason I paid for the first 2 months because I lived there full time. She threw me out. I had to go move into a whole other place. And we were broken up. We started seeing each other again, and I had a separate residence.
But then you moved back in, even according to you.
Right, okay.
Sir, listen to me. Then you moved back in, at least according to you, for another 2 months on an apartment where you had a lease.
Right.
And you did not pay rent for those 2 months.
Yes, I did.
No, he didn't.
No, you just told me you didn't pay rent for those 2 months. You said you only paid rent for 2 months.
I wasn't living there full time. I was only spending 2 nights out of the week there. I already moved out into a whole other place.
No, Mr. McMahon, now you're making that up as you're going along. You just said to me, said to me a moment ago, of the year and a half that you were together, you lived there 4 months, but you only paid rent for 2 months out of the 4.
No, while I was there, if I stayed there for a full month, I would pay for half of that month. If I only spent
That's not what you just told me.
Well, excuse me, Your Honor, I'm a little confused. It was...
Well, let's not get confused, sir.
But I went and got a separate residence, and then we started dating again. I would spend the weekend over there and then go back during the week to my own residence.
He never got his own residence until after the second time I threw him out. He lived with his father after the first time.
Okay, let's talk about the expenses that you say he owes you, Miss McCarthy. Let me hear.
Well, Your Honor, most of what he has said was correct. He was there May and June. I found he was cheating on me and I threw him out. We reconciled and he moved back in October, and he was there October, November, and December, and it was shortly after Christmas, 1998, or maybe even after the first of the year, where I threw him out for the second time. He was coming up with all these excuses why he couldn't help me out with the rent, and never paid anything. The day I threw him out, I went to do some laundry, and he had a bad habit of keeping his papers in his pants. I would check his pockets for papers, and I found a receipt for some car stereo equipment that he purchased the day before, and that's when all heck broke loose and I threw him out.
Why?
Because he kept claiming that he had no money to help me out. You know, he was getting speeding tickets, he was paying for the speeding tickets, he bought $1,000 rims for this Mustang that he owned. The heat would be up to 80 degrees and he wasn't even there.
All right, so now, I got it.
I was on the lease, though. I'm entitled to turn my own heat up.
Just a second.
But he wasn't paying for it.
I got it. I understand the whole scenario. Now, my next question to both of you is, clearly, according to you, October, November, and December of 1998 is when you, in December is when you threw him out ultimately?
Yeah, it was a little after Christmas, maybe even after the first of the year.
Okay, and did he ever move back in?
No.
Why haven't you sued him for the amounts that you claim he owes you?
Well, initially, Your Honor, we got back together around Valentine's Day in 1999.
So you were back together?
Yes, we did. We never moved. He never moved back in. I still live there today.
But in February of 1999, you sort of got back together. How?
He invited me to dinner, bought me a couple dozen roses, and schmoozed his way back in like he always did.
All right. And how long did that schmoozing last?
On and off for about a year. We had a verbal agreement in between all this, because he was upset about the furniture. He threatened to cut it up if he had to in order for him to get his half of it. And once we did get back together, we made a verbal agreement that I was to keep the furniture in my apartment because he hadn't helped me for those 3 months. And that was well and good for us.
Made that agreement.
And all of a sudden I get this lawsuit, and so I said, well, the heck with it. I'm going to just get my money that he owes me.
Okay. That's what I wanted to hear. So you were prepared to say, forget it,
yes, I was.
On. Now, Mr. McMahon, I'm going to ask you the same question, sir. What took you so long to file this lawsuit?
We got engaged.
Yes.
She wanted me to move back in. I said, no, not until some issues are resolved.
And when did that engagement terminate?
On my birthday.
What date?
January 30th. I wasn't just going to jump into a lawsuit until I had some time to deal with what I was feeling.
You should have jumped into the lawsuit a year and a half ago.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're right.
You're absolutely right. If you believe that she honestly owed you this money, half of a washer and dryer for $75 and a lot of furniture for $75.
It's not the money. It's got nothing to do with the money.
So what does it have to do with it?
Your Honor, we had a 3-bedroom apartment. Out of all 3, each bedroom had a closet. I had a quarter of one closet in the master bedroom.
So does my husband.
And I had 2.
And let me tell you, he's a happy man.
And I had 2 drawers. I had 2 drawers. I couldn't even put my clothes in there.
He has 2 drawers. Men are lucky if they have a quarter of a closet. They have 1 drawer.
And another thing.
Women need more drawers.
And another thing.
And more closet space.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She took over the whole apartment.
That's what ladies do. They make a nest.
What about me?
My husband knows he can decorate anything in his quarter of the closet.
I didn't get
Period.
And later today,
He shove kicked me to my groin area, and I didn't do anything.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Daniel McMahon says ex-girlfriend Michelle McCartney won't return his furniture or his share of the deposit on their apartment.
Have you ever been married?
No.
That's a very good lesson I'm going to teach you. Don't expect more than a quarter of a closet. Right? If you expect more, never get married.
Okay, and another thing, January 30th, which was my birthday, which was one of the last big
More than
fights.
a quarter of a closet?
A quarter of a closet's
Judge,
ridiculous.
I've been married for 13 years.
Yeah.
I don't even have a quarter of a closet.
The whole apartment had her family all over the wall. I couldn't put I had no entity in there at all.
You mean you
No,
couldn't have a
nothing.
picture of your mother or your grandmother
The
up?
walls were full. I couldn't do nothing.
Mr. McMahon.
I'm serious. She took over the whole apartment.
Mr. McMahon.
I had no rights and nothing.
That's what ladies do. They make a nest.
We need.
Let
There
me
should be a
explain
little
something
bit
to
of
you.
compromise.
Let me
though,
explain
and there was
something to you.
not.
That's what happens. They make a nest. Right?
What about me?
My husband knows he can decorate anything in his quarter of the closet.
I didn't get nothing.
Period.
I had to step
Don't move
over.
a lamp.
I had to
Don't
step
move a
over shoes
picture.
to get to my quarter of the closet.
Get over
Her
it.
shoes.
Listen to me. Your lawsuit, Mr. McMahon, is nonsense. And so is your counterclaim. Nonsense. 2.5 years ago, you started a relationship. You moved into an apartment together. It didn't work out. Your entire investment was at most $425, which includes $150 for some old furniture and an old washer and dryer. How many times did you use the washer and dryer? I want you to think very carefully. How many times did you take clothes, like sheets and towels, from the bathroom and from the beds, take them, put them in the washing machine, wait till it was finished, take it out, put it in the dryer, and fold it up? How many times did you do that?
Plenty of times. If I wasn't being thrown out that week, I was doing laundry. Without
If you
a doubt.
weren't being thrown, you were doing laundry?
Yeah.
Is that
I
right?
used to do her work
Is that
clothes
right?
for her. Everything
he was
else.
doing the laundry?
Some.
He was doing the
Few and far between. I was mostly doing all of our laundry. But yes, it was used for his clothes, which he had.
I didn't ask you it was used for his clothes. I'm talking about sheets and towels and stripping the beds. And
Oh, I did all that. I could hardly even get him to make the bed,
listen,
never mind
listen to
strip
me.
it.
I'm talking about stripping the beds and putting the sheets in
Didn't
and
spend
putting the
enough
sheets
time in
back on the bed. Who did that?
I did all that.
You did that?
Yeah.
Well, you were honest about the other thing. He did do his own work clothes. Who did the cleaning in the apartment?
I did everything. I did
Like-
everything, Your
Like
Honor.
what? I mean, who scrubbed the bathroom floor? Who scrubbed the
did.
kitchen floor?
I did. I wouldn't even let him do the dishes because he would do them in a half-mannered way and they would be all greasy, so I'd have to redo them anyway. That was his lame excuse for not being able to do anything because he didn't know how.
It's called learned helplessness. You do it wrong so nobody asks you to do it again.
That's not
Mr.
true at
McMahon, is it accurate that the housework was done by the defendant?
You know what? I didn't spend enough time in that
Oh, my
apartment to
goodness.
clean anything. If you want the real
No,
deal.
you spent some time there, sir. According to you,
little.
you spent a couple of months there straight, and in addition to the couple of months there straight, 2 or 3 days a week when you were going to your own place. So you were there long enough to dirty the kitchen, dirty the bathroom, dirty the tub, dirty all those things.
If I dirtied something, I cleaned it.
He did
That's
not.
it.
I'm not
I've
gonna-
heard that before. Mr. McMahon, your lawsuit is nonsense, and so is your counterclaim. They're both dismissed. Get over it.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
One of us was obligated to continue paying that lease, and I did, and I have been paying it ever since. He paid 2 months, and he was on a lease for a
She
year.
wanted me
So,
to pay it while I was living in it.
oh well.
I didn't get treated fair in the relationship from Jump Street, and I got taken advantage of.
And now the next case.
All parties on Sias versus Graham. Step forward, please.
55-year-old Asian arts instructor Ted Sias is suing 19-year-old carpet installer William Graham for assaulting him while riding his bike.
According to your complaint, Mr. Sias, you were riding your bike to work. What kind of work do you do?
I teach internal health arts in Huntington Beach.
In a
I'm doing-
school.
Yes, ma'am.
And a car that was being driven by one of these two young men
Mr. Graham.
somehow passed by you, and he shouted something out the window, which made you angry.
It startled me. It scared me.
Startled you.
Yes.
So you got angry.
Yes.
And what you did in response was to ride your bike on an overpass where you were, and when you saw his car passing under the underpass, you picked up a rock and threw it at his car.
Yes, ma'am, but it was actually a pebble, and I brought the approximate size that I dropped.
Pebble, rock, you threw a something at his car.
Yes.
That made Mr. Graham very angry,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And you got off the expressway, To find him?
Yes, ma'am.
Because you saw him do it?
Yes, ma'am.
And there was a confrontation, and that's what this lawsuit is about, because you said that during the course of that confrontation, Mr. Graham injured you and broke your bike.
Yes.
So let's start out. You're pedaling along, going to work. His car comes alongside you, and what does he say to you?
It wasn't him. It was his passenger that screamed at me.
What did his passenger say?
I don't know. It was just a holler, a very loud holler. I wasn't.
Which startled you.
Yes, ma'am.
And then what did you do?
Well, I about fell off my bike. Then I picked up this little pebble, and I was thinking about dropping it. And when they pulled around, then he gave me the birdie. That was it. That's all it took to send me the rest of the way. So I did drop it. I wasn't dropping the pebble to cause damage. I was dropping the pebble as more of an act of, you do this to me, I do this to you, but I wasn't striving for revenge. I lost my head.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything to you, sir, that involved any physical touching.
I think
his passenger
yes, ma'am.
said something to startle you.
I think it's an accumulation of years of riding and getting people throwing things at me and hollering at me. I guess that one time I've been tired. I was riding my bike for 12 miles that day. I just lost it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You see the passenger?
Yes, he was, ma'am.
Did you do that? Hold up! Right there.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ted Sias says William Graham assaulted him while out riding his bike. William claims Ted threw a rock at his car.
What was the first thing that was said?
I asked him, ma'am, I said, why did you throw a rock at my car? He then got off his bike, and he says, well, you know, you screamed at me. And I'm like, who screamed at you?
Well,
you know,
it's clear he didn't scream at you. Just a minute. He didn't scream at you.
Yes, ma'am, he didn't.
Somebody else did. Go ahead.
It could have been possible that we had been goofing around, laughing, whatever, you know, the case may be in the car, what you do with
whatever, somebody in your car spooked him, right?
That must have happened somehow. It wasn't intentional.
Was he the passenger?
Yes, he was, ma'am.
Did you do that? Hold up! Right there. Right where the finger is. Did you do that to the bike rider?
I was...
No, look at me.
I'm sorry. I was singing in the car, yelling, having a good time, not yelling at anyone out of the car, intentionally.
Did you realize you had startled him?
No.
Now sit down. Go ahead.
Okay, so then he pushes me once. I push his hand down. I say, don't touch me again. He pushes me again, I push his hand down, and after I push his hand down the second time, he shove-kicked me to my groin area, and I didn't do anything. Then I was going to call the cops. He got on his bike like he was going to leave, and I said, where are you going? And he said, oh, I'm leaving now, like that, and he's like, you're wasting my time. I said, yeah, thanks a lot, I just got my car painted. I just got my car painted, and he dropped the rock and chipped like on the roof of my car. And he says, well, now it just gives you something to do, doesn't it? He gets back off his bike, pushes me one more time, I push his hand down again, and then he kicked me harder in the same exact area, the same type of kick in the groin. And at that time, I grabbed his leg. He went to swing at me, and I hit him in the head, and then I hit him a couple more times. He fell over his bike, which was right behind him. Once he was on the ground, I held him down. This is all in a position where I had a broken collarbone at the time because I was in an accident maybe a month before at the most, and I had a cast on my hand from torn ligaments. So I was really in no position to be starting a fight.
What kind of accident? Car accident?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Sayers, you want to tell me your version of the event, sir?
Basically, he's saying something to the effect that you're going to pay for it, you're going to pay for it, or you're going to apologize. I can't remember which one or both. And he kept trying to get closer to me, and I kept telling him to stay away. I said it numerous times. I did what's called a push kick towards his groin. It was not meant to cause any pain. He says, what was that?
But you did do that.
I did do that, yes, I did.
And he hadn't put his hands on you yet.
He was kept getting...
No, he had not put his hands on you.
No, ma'am, not yet. I did what I could, which was non-lethal. I pushed towards his face to make him lean back to go away. I pushed towards his groin.
He didn't kill you either, Mr. Sayers. That's not lethal.
If you look at the picture, you'll see it's probably lethal. My face doesn't look too pretty. I probably got a birthmark that'll last me the rest of my life. You want to...
Sure, I'll take a look.
Thank you.
That's not lethal. Nasty, but not lethal.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
You don't say anything in your complaint, Mr. Sayers, about your putting your hands on the defendant first. He's a young man, and very often people say, well, young kids, you know, they're going to lose their temper and they're going to get out of control. I think that it happens with men when they reach maybe age 50. You're not 50 yet, are you?
Nowhere near.
I know, they do have as sometimes what you describe as road rage. You went to the top of an overpass, you picked up a pebble. You say it was a very small pebble, it may have been, but certainly enough, if that falls on your car fast enough and shatters a windshield, that can cause you to lose control of the car, and it can cause you to go into a tree, another car, another person, can cause very serious damage, injury, and can cause death. And then when he confronted you, when he stopped the car, which was his absolute right because he had done nothing to you, his partner over here maybe was singing too loud, maybe he was trying to frighten you, maybe he was acting like a jerk, which is possible, because I'm looking at him and it's possible. But he didn't do anything to you. When he confronted you, instead of apologizing, you put your hands on him first, twice. And it looks to me, at the end of the day, you got the worst of it.
Obviously.
That's too bad.
On the calendar in the matter of Calmetta versus Morris. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. Calmetta, according to your complaint, sir, you met the defendant at Home Depot.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you just struck up a conversation with the defendant.
Yeah, she was standing in front of me in line.
And she told you that she was buying stuff to paint her house or to do her house, and you volunteered to help her, but then indicated to her that the cost for doing that would be how much? $1,500?
Well, Your Honor, actually, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I don't mean to change. What had happened was initially I had given her my card because I was sort of attracted to her.
I assume. I've read the complaint.
It wasn't more or less, I told her she did need electrical work. I was an electrical contractor. I do building, I do painting, I do remodeling, but my primary job is an electrical contractor. So I handed her my card, and I did make a comment that is sometimes it's easier to hire someone to do the work than try to do it yourself.
So?
Well, about 3 hours later, I went and finished the job I was on, and I got to the driveway of my home, and I got a phone call on my cell phone. It was her, and she had tried to attempt to paint the condo herself, and she was having a little trouble. Apparently, the paint wasn't sticking to the ceiling, and she was getting blotches. And I sort of told her, I says, well, try to smooth them out.
Well, what did she ask you? She said, how?
Well, she asked me if I knew someone who could come out, because she knew that my primary trade was electrical, that if I knew a painter, if I could help her out. And I says, well, sure, I do, but it's going to be very difficult to get someone to come out on a drop of a dime, you know, this Friday night, you know, and figured I'd try to make a few phone calls, and nobody was calling me back.
You didn't make any phone calls. You decided to go over there yourself.
Yeah, I did. Well, I did call one person. I tried to. I called one person.
You thought about calling somebody, but you went over yourself.
Yes.
Mr. Calmetta, let's keep it simple, sir.
Yes,
simple and honest. Yes.
So
okay.
I ended up going over there, yes, and I noticed that her rollers were incorrect. She had the incorrect rollers. The paint was a cheap brand, and I asked her, I said, let's go to Home Depot, let's get a better quality paint, and let's get some rollers. So we went to the store, we picked up the correct supplies, we got back, and I did spend that whole, I got there from 4, I say I have the whole job itemized here.
No, just tell me the stories.
Okay, I'm just...
You didn't itemize the job that day or
no,
the day
after. No, it was itemized down the road.
It was itemized down the road, close to this lawsuit.
Yeah, right after...
All right, so let's... Mr. Calmetta, let's try to keep it simple. So you went to this store, you got better paint, and you got a couple of really good rollers. And then you went back and started to help her paint the house, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's hear.
Well, we spent the whole week in there painting because it was a decent sized job. I had my employee here come by on Saturday. I was there till 11:30 Friday painting, and we returned Saturday in the afternoon after I was done with my regular jobs, and we spent. Well, I had left for 2 hours. He was there for the first 2 hours while I had went and did a service call. I returned. We were there together for about 5 more hours, and I stayed later to try to finish up the job on Saturday.
What are you talking about?
Shh.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
That was May 6th on the Saturday. And then the last day I was there was Sunday, which was May 7th. And I was only there for 3.5 hours.
Okay, so you were there. Did you finish the job?
Yeah, we finished the whole job. It was like, she wanted 2 different colors, so that took a little bit of taping.
You finished the job.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
And then what happened?
Well, there was also, things happened, and we talked about possibly going to South Beach with me. Okay, we were going
to Florida.
Yes, Your Honor. And I had purchased some tickets for us to go.
When did you do that?
Actually, it was Monday.
I mean, right after the weekend?
Yeah.
Right after the weekend, you bonded.
Yeah.
with the good rollers.
At least I thought we did.
And?
And when it got closer to the trip, I'll try to make this short, something happened to her grandmother.
How much later was the trip scheduled?
Well, it was scheduled to leave on the 19th of May.
So within a couple of weeks?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see each other between that time, between the Monday that you finished the job and the day you were supposed to leave on the trip? Did you go out? Did you date? Did you go to dinner? Anything?
Well, we were both quite busy.
So the answer is no?
No.
Okay. And?
And like I said, 3 days before the flight, she had called and said that I tried to get in hold of her. She's kind of mad. I called her work. She didn't like the fact that I called her at work. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. She was at her grandmother's house for a couple days. Apparently she was sick and she couldn't make the trip, and she ended up canceling on me, which in a way I did go on the trip by myself. I have the tickets, that I purchased for her, which I'm not too concerned with about the trip, to be honest with you. Even though I put it on the sheet, I wasn't really going to try to make a deal out of it, because I did go on a trip and I had a great time. The day I got there, I met a beautiful young lady and had a great time in South Beach, and I was kind of glad I went. So it turned out real well. So more or less, it's the trip's not that big of a concern. It's just more or less the work that I did.
So you are withdrawing your claim for the plane ticket?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So far, that's a good idea, because I didn't hear anything about, well, I'll pay half.
Yeah, exactly. So I figured that much. So
Perfect. All right. Now, with regard to the painting, I also didn't hear anything, Mr. Calmetta, about how much she was going to pay you or your helper.
I was going to tell you that. I don't know how you can figure as far as the Friday, because we didn't discuss the rates till about the middle of the job on Friday. She goes, well, what do you charge?
She asked you what your fees were. That doesn't necessarily mean that she was agreeing to pay your fees. But she asked how much.
When they asked me what my fees are, I'm not there to do this for free. I wasn't there to paint the place for free. I more or less made it clear that $75 to come out, and it's $50 per man per hour. Those are my daytime rates. Anything after 5 o'clock, like I said, I have it all itemized, it's double time after 5. Saturday, it's time and a half, and Sunday, it's double time. And I did make it clear to her, I even said it'll probably run about $1,500.
Okay.
And so,
now,
but it did come a little bit more than that.
Now, when you told her it was going to run her $1,500, what did she say to you?
She had no problem with that.
No, what did she say?
Hi.
She said okay. She had no problem with
Okay,
it.
now, Miss Morris.
Yes.
Let's hear from you. And we don't have to concentrate on the trip, because the trip he's withdrawing, because
I understand that.
He had a great time there with somebody else.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He already had the tickets bought, Your Honor. He came to my house with somebody else's name on the ticket saying I was supposed to take her, but instead I chose you.
Is that true?
Well, I was supposed to take some other girl that I had met, but...
Oh, yeah.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Richard Calmetta says former friend Sarah Ann Morris owes him for painting her condo and for airline tickets to South Beach.
Now, Miss Morris.
Yes.
Let's hear about the painting. You hooked up at Home Depot. I assume all of that is correct, that you met there, that you called him to come over and take a look and see if he could help you, that you did, in fact, go back and buy different paints, different rollers, etc. He came back to your house and started working. So far, is that all correct?
To a point. He gave the wrong dates. It's April 28th.
Who cares?
29th. My family was supposed to help me, and they canceled on me. So I was desperate to a point that I needed to get it done. I'm just a go-getter. Once I say I'm going to do something, I like to accomplish it.
Okay, so you called him.
Yes, I did.
You didn't expect him to do it for nothing, did you?
No, I didn't.
But you just, because you just met the man at Home Depot.
Right, I expected to pay him. No, yes, I did, Your Honor.
Oh, so how much did you pay him?
I offered him Saturday $200. He refused to take it because he began liking me.
Well, ma'am, I do a service call for $20.
He wouldn't take the money because he knew I'm a young lady. I just got started on my own, and he didn't want to take from me. He makes his own money. He doesn't need $200.
Well, this man didn't like you. You were the helper?
Yeah,
right?
He's my employee.
Just a second. He was the employee. He was there painting with him. He wasn't crazy about you. What did you think? He was just coming along because he had nothing to do for the weekend?
No, Your Honor, I wasn't.
Well, what did you pay him?
I didn't pay them anything because he told me he didn't want anything.
What about him?
He was just his follower. He spoke for both of them.
Miss Morris.
Yes.
Pay careful attention, madam.
Will do.
You called him because you needed somebody to paint for you.
I told him I was... Yes.
And you expected to have that done at a fee.
Right.
I assume you were helping.
Yes, I was.
Okay. She was helping.
Yes, you.
And that isn't the usual standard fare. I mean, I've had my apartment painted, and I don't remember being right in there in the thick of things with a paintbrush when somebody's painting my apartment. Like, if you went to do an electrical job, sir, you wouldn't say to the person whose house you were in, come over here and hold these wires because you're going to hold the wires while I hang the fixture. You come, they leave, and so this was a little different.
Because we were on time and material.
No.
Yes.
It was a little different.
Well, we were on T&M, though. I did discuss as far as, she was trying to say
Mr. Calmetta, it was a little different.
Yes, it was.
And it was a little different, compounded by the fact that the day after you completed the job, you made an investment in plane tickets to take it to South Beach. How many times have you done that when you did your electrical work? Right?
Yes, right.
All right, so it's a little bit different. You see, my problem, Ms. Morris, is that you can't be a total taker. I mean, if he's smitten with you and he wants to invest a weekend helping you paint your condo, that's fine.
I agree.
But this man deserves to be paid, especially when it certainly appeared that after the painting was done, you had nothing to do with him, even after he bought the tickets and then bailed out. Right?
Correct. But
right.
A lot of things in between that we're not discussing right now happened between mine and Richard's relationship, or friendship, I should say, to make me not want to go on this trip with him.
But I withdrew the trip.
I understand.
So drop that.
Just a second. That may be. Don't you understand that a man who is smitten with a woman, whether he's good, whether he's bad, whether he's got quirks, whether he dresses up in odd clothes in the evening, it doesn't make any difference. You know, he feels as if he had made an investment because you led him on over the weekend. You led him on sufficiently for him to plan a trip with you that you initially said you would go on. Initially. What are you shaking your head no? You mean you didn't initially say that you would go with him?
Not really. I was too good to be true. I didn't believe it.
Just a second. Don't tell me too good to be true. You initially said that you would go with him. He didn't go buy tickets to South Beach.
He already had the tickets bought, Your Honor. No. He came to my house with the tickets a week before we were supposed to go with somebody else's name on the ticket saying I was supposed to take her, but instead I chose you.
Is that true?
Show her the ticket.
Is that true?
Well, I was supposed to take somebody else on a different date, on a different flight, some other girl that I had met. But, but it has nothing to do with...
Would you step up here, sir?
Your Honor, it has nothing to do with her, though.
Guys,
I mean...
Yeah, please. It has enough to do that you put it in your complaint, sir. Tell me your last name.
Szynski.
Mr. Szynski, you work with or for the plaintiff?
Yeah.
How many hours did you spend approximately at the defendant's house?
It was Saturday from 4 to about 11 o'clock.
Just on Saturday?
Yep.
Okay. Let me see your job estimate that you've made up right before court. Okay. Now, you say that you get $50 an hour.
Yes, Your Honor. That's standard contractor's rates.
For you and for...
It's per man per hour.
Per man per hour.
We charge 75...
Mr. Calmetta, I don't believe you, sir. I don't believe that you had a discussion with her prior to you doing the job, fixing the fees, including $50 an hour for you and $50 an hour for Mr. Szynski over here.
I have overhead as far as
Pay
phone
attention,
bills.
sir.
Yes, I understand that, but that's what I charge as an employer, though.
I don't believe you had an agreement with her.
I had told her what the rates were.
Listen to me, sir. I don't believe that you had a contract with her. There are too many things that do not ring true to me, including the fact that you prepared this right before you came to court. You had no signed contract. When you do an electrical job for somebody, Mr. Calmetta, you prepare this first, right? Pay attention.
Your Honor, I don't.
Mr. Calmetta.
You're not saying that... You want me to...
Mr. Calmetta,
you're telling me how I do my business.
Don't try to talk over me, sir. You're going to lose.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You better make up your mind quickly what we're going to do about this situation. This is not going to go away. If I don't hear from you by the end of the day, I'm going to make your life miserable.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Richard Calmetta says former friend Sarah Ann Morris owes him for painting her condo and for airline tickets to South Beach.
Mr. Calmetta, if you are an electrical contractor or a building contractor, and I have dealt with both.
I understand, but...
When you do a job, you outline what the job is. Cost of hours, cost of paint and materials, cost of electrical supplies. You sign it, and they sign it.
That's on a bid. This was not a bid.
That is not a bid, sir. I have never dealt with anybody on a big job for $1,500 or $2,000 where we didn't have a contract, even a painter. The painter writes down what color they're going to paint the foyer, what color they're going to paint the living room, what kind of paint they're going to use. I sign, they sign, I have a contract. And if you're in business and if you have employees, that's how you do your electrical work as well. And if you don't do it, then you're not a very good businessman. This was done later. I don't believe that you had a contract with her, but I do believe that you are responsible to pay Mr. Szynski. Do you understand? You can't be a taker.
I don't want to be a taker.
Good. So how much do you think it was worth for you to have your condo painted over the weekend at the drop of a dime? You tell me how much you anticipated paying somebody else.
The estimate that I show for the work that they both did came out to about $300 worth of work. I'll be willing to pay
That's ridiculous.
Richard $300, his partner.
I do that on a service call, Your Honor.
I have a tape here, also, Your Honor, that has him threatening me and also saying that he did the paint job out of the goodness of his heart because he liked me.
Oh, well, let me hear it. Let me hear that part. I want to hear the
It's three
threats.
different messages because it...
I just want to hear that he did the paint job out of the goodness of his heart because he liked you.
Okay.
Yes, Sarah. We're going to need to hear from you today. We're going to have to figure out what you're going to do about this situation. This needs to be taken care of. I gave you my time. I spent a whole weekend over there painting your place. For the goodness of my heart. My time is very, very, very valuable. I did that out of the goodness of my heart. Spent time with you because I liked you. What a mistake that was. Two, when I handed you my card, that I was interested in you. That's why I even came over. You weren't attracted to me. You should have never had me come out there. You knew why I came out there. Why I stayed out there. Then the situation the way it went, you should have never accepted an invitation to a trip. But you did. Went and spent money on tickets. I'm not going to eat these tickets. The trip is Wednesday. You're either going to take the tickets and go on the trip, because I'm not going alone. Now again, I'm not on a drop of a dime. I'm going to find somebody to go on this trip here in a couple days. Now I'm not going by myself. You better make up your mind quickly what we're going to do about this situation. This is not going to go away. I'm going to make your life miserable. Not only will I make it miserable by suing the out of you, and maybe some other things too, I'm going to pull some strings at your job. So I'm going to spend the whole day tomorrow on a mission of getting back at you for what you've done to me. Now, I don't want to have to do all this. But if I don't hear from you by the end of the day, first thing I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm going to pull some strings, because I know people. I don't want to have to do this, but I will. Now, if I don't hear from you, Sarah, by the end of the day, we'll hit something.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Mr. Szynski, you came here as a witness today. Is that
Yes.
right, sir? Well, you're going to leave here the owner of a judgment, because Ms. Morris indicated that minimally she thinks the job is worth $300. It's probably worth closer to $600 or $1,000 to do the entire job. But I believe that Mr. Calmetta was not doing this job to be paid. He was doing this job for another reason. However, you were not. The court will enter a judgment, but the judgment will be paid, Ms. Morris, to Mr. Szynski in the amount of $300. Your claim, Mr. Calmetta, is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may be seated, ma'am. Have a seat. You're welcome, Judge.
Mr. Sokar, the defendant is your former wife.
Yes, ma'am.
When were you married?
October 21st, 2001.
And you have a child together. Your child was born when?
May 12, 1999.
It's a girl. So
Yes,
the
ma'am.
time your daughter was born, you were not married. You married when she was about a year and some months old. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And when did you divorce?
I don't remember. It
July
was
3rd of 2001. We were actually married in 2000.
Were you living together at the time your daughter was born?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes, we were.
This is your complaint, Mr. Sokar. At the time your daughter was born, your former wife was receiving some sort of Medicaid.
Yes.
And the state of Kansas says that they spent $6,000 for the medical bills that surrounded your daughter's birth. According to you, you negotiated with them and got that amount down to $3,000, which you've been forced to pay.
Right.
You want Miss Van Dorn to reimburse you $1,500, which is her half of the medical bills for your daughter's birth. That's what the case is about.
Right.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, there are certain facts that we can stipulate are true. A, you were living together at the time your daughter was born. B, that there is no question that the state has taken $3,000 from your salary or whatever for the baby's birth. correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That there's no question you are the father of this child.
Right.
So, Ms. Van Dorn, I would like you to tell me why you don't feel, as the mother, that you're responsible for half of the medical bills.
At the time that I was pregnant, I was 19 years old. As I said, I was working part-time. I was also going to school full-time, not eligible for insurance. So I did get assistance from the state. At the same time, Mr. Sokar, who was living with me, but in a house that my dad was paying rent for, my dad basically supported me the entire first year that after we had moved from Los Angeles. And I told Mark I was moving to Kansas with or without him because I needed the support of my family. He'd even suggested me to get an abortion on at least one occasion, at least twice. He obviously didn't want to take responsibility for the child from the get-go. So my opinion was that, you know, I didn't know how long he was going to be sticking around. He obviously wasn't dependable. He couldn't keep a job.
Was he working?
He was not working. He had started to...
Well, now let's talk about now. Mr. Sokar, do you see your daughter regularly?
I see her every 2 weeks.
Overnight?
Yes, ma'am.
And you exercise that visitation regularly?
Yes, ma'am. I try to.
Try to is not an answer. Is there any reason?
When she shows up sometimes.
Your Honor, it's not that I'm not showing up. It's that he calls with absolutely no excuse several hours before, you know, not even giving me any notice that he's not going to show up, and yet continues to take me to court to fight for more visitation, and he's not even following through with it. He's not showing up.
All right, but there is a court order of visitation every other weekend. And what is the support order?
It is $255 a month.
When was that order made?
It was made in...
It was part of our divorce decree. It was scheduled payments for to begin in April 1st of 2001.
Is that correct, sir? That $255 a month was to commence April 1st?
Yes, ma'am.
2001?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you current in your support payments?
No, I'm not.
You're not?
No, I'm not.
How far behind are you?
I'm about 6 months behind.
It's more like over a year.
I'm 6 months behind, ma'am.
Just a second. Why are you 6 months behind?
Because I didn't have a job, ma'am.
How did you support yourself?
Unemployment.
So how much did you get from unemployment?
I was getting about $250 a week.
So why weren't you paying $255 a month for your child?
Because I had a rent to pay, I had a car payment, plus I was paying off my...
Who cares about your car? Sell it. Who cares about your car? Who cares about your car, your gas, your insurance? Who cares about those things? You have a child.
Truth is, he's actually...
Shh. Well, you know how much $255 a month is times 6? Mr. Sokar.
No, ma'am, I don't.
$1,530.
Okay.
May I speak, Your Honor?
No. She says you're more behind, but you say you're 6 months behind. 6 months behind is $1,530. You want $1,500
I'm still fighting
from her.
for that.
Fighting for what?
My child support payments.
Yeah.
And they're garnishing them right now as we speak.
Well, they should. Of course they should, because you stopped paying.
They're doing it right now.
How much are they garnishing? $255 a month?
Nope, they're about to garnish almost $400 a month now.
Way to go.
I think so.
Way to go. And that's if you don't quit this job when they start to garnish.
Right.
How many times have you done that?
What's that?
Have you ever quit a job, Mr. Sokar?
No, ma'am, I have not.
You've never quit a job?
No, ma'am.
He just gets fired.
Oh, well, that's a possibility. If quitting gets fired. Well, you had to get fired if you collected unemployment insurance. How long did you collect unemployment for?
For about 7 months.
So it's probably more like 7 months that you didn't pay child support.
No, but I was paying her too sometimes.
What do you mean you were paying her too sometimes? What does that mean?
I mean...
Your Honor, I've never received any direct
cash,
payments from
like
him.
clothes for my daughter and diapers and things else too.
I don't care about clothes, diapers, formula, whatever.
No.
Cash money.
No.
Cash money. TFT. As my grandmother used to say. Tish. Put it right there, in the bank. If you can't put it in the bank, it's not support. Do you understand, Mr. Sokar?
I sure do.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Mark Sokar says ex-wife Jennifer Van Dorn owes for half the cost of their child's birth. Jennifer claims Mark doesn't pay child support.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do, sir. When you're all caught up on your arrears, all caught up, whatever the court says that your arrears are.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not going to finally dispose of this case, Mr. Sokar.
Yes, ma'am.
What I'm going to do is dismiss it without prejudice. When you're all caught up in whatever millennium that is,
yes, ma'am,
in your child support, you feel free to come back here and sue your ex-wife for the $1,500 that you claim she owes you for half birthing of your daughter. Do you understand?
Sure
Isn't
do.
that fair?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I just think it's ridiculous that he's coming after me for something several years ago when he's not currently supporting his child.
Because I lost my job, that's why.
It's obvious that He's not taking a responsible role as a father.
Well, I think she's pathetic.
In the end, he's still trying to get money out of me when I'm the one who deserves the support for my daughter.
I think she's a liar.
He's probably never going to be able to have a steady job to get any support.
Don't trust a woman like her.
I'm looking at a completely undependable father for my daughter.
She never let me see my kid anyways.
He's just desperate for money because he can't keep a job.
She's full of it.
Any job he can get, they're completely garnishing for this. He'll never have any money.
I still won.
Basically, his girlfriend's taking care of him while he sits at home and does nothing.
No.
She's going to figure out very soon that he is not there for her.
She wants more money for herself.
His true intentions are just to pick fights with me.
I'm done.
I wish I had a dependable father for my child.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Morin versus Hastings. Step forward, please.
Piano teacher Rebecca Morin is suing her former friend, Shannon Hastings, for the return of maternity clothes and baby's things. Shannon says the items were a gift.
Ms. Morin, according to what I read, you claim a loan to the defendant. And the loan was some maternity clothes and baby equipment because she was pregnant and you thought it would be a nice thing to loan her your stuff. You want it back. Ms. Hastings said there was never a loan of these things, that you gave them to her, and either she doesn't have them anymore or she feels as if she should be able to keep them. How did you know her?
We had several friends in common. I knew some people that lived across the street from her. They took piano lessons from me. I also knew her child care provider for her children. So, and that is how I met her.
What prompted you to make the loan of this baby equipment?
I had known the defendant for about 2 years. When I first met her, she was married to my witness here. They had 2 preschool-age little boys, and she had just found out that she had a brain tumor. Their family went through horrible things for the next couple of years. She was told by her doctor that she would not be able to have children, and she had given all her baby things away.
So far, is everything she said correct?
Not everything, not about how we met.
Is it urgently important?
No.
Good. So far, everything is about right.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Anyway, my heart went out to her when I found out that she was expecting a baby.
When was that, Mrs. Moore?
That would have been
fall of 2000.
Fall of 2000, yes, thank you.
Tell me what items you gave her.
I gave her a crib, I gave her an infant car seat, I gave her a toddler car seat, I gave her an exerciser. Then there was also a playpen, there was also a swing, and then all the maternity clothes as well.
How many children did you have?
I had 2.
Were you planning on having any more?
There wasn't a plan, no.
How many do you have now?
I'm expecting 1 in 2 weeks.
Look great.
Oh, thank you.
So now you want your things back for yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, the maternity clothes you're not going to be able to use anymore anyway.
Correct.
But the other items you could use?
Certainly.
Will you use them?
Certainly.
Okay. So, I gather you're not married to the same husband anymore.
Well, the divorce is still pending.
So you're separated?
Yes.
And the 3 children?
They live with me.
Your baby is how old?
2 years old. 2 weeks ago.
Still use the crib?
Well, not that crib, but yes, he's still in a crib.
Where's the crib?
The big rail in the front broke, and so we had to get a new one out of the paper for like $50.
So you don't have it anymore?
Right.
Well, it went through 1, 2, 3 babies. Happens. Miss Morin wants the rest of her things. Why shouldn't she have them?
Well, basically, what was left out was that we met through the church, that it's a Baptist church that we went to. Upon filing for divorce, the church decided that they could no longer support me because I'm the devil's spawn. They don't believe in divorce, and so everybody basically just turned their back on me and said that if I followed through with the divorce, they could no longer support me.
When did you file for divorce?
Gosh, it'll be 2 years this coming October.
2001.
He's very good with dates. He may be not so good with other things, I'm not sure, I don't know, but he's
You got that.
Okay.
I mean, they performed church discipline on me without even telling me, basically saying that no one could
Your
support
Honor,
me
that's
anymore.
not true.
That's what I was told. That's what I was told.
That is not true. And that has nothing to do with the case.
Well,
that's her perception of why you want your things back after 2 years.
Now, he was trying to get 50-50 custody, and we were having family services go through each of the homes. At this time, he only had Sam, the baby, and a playpen, no crib. So it was like 2 days before this family study was going to be performed, when he dropped off the children, he said Rebecca would like me to have the crib and things. And I said, well, then I'll talk to Rebecca.
Did you ever have a discussion with him about those things?
Yes.
Tell me about that conversation.
Before I ever loaned it to them, I had discussed it with the defendant. I had also discussed it with him that I wanted those things back.
The question is, had you told Mr. Hastings
Correct.
that he could have these things instead of his wife?
Oh, no, I did not say that to him. I did tell him I would like them back. I told him I didn't need them right away because I wasn't due until April. And so after the first of the year, then I began asking for him for those things back. That was January of 2003.
Okay. What is it that you want him to testify to, Mr. Hastings? Tell me before he stands up, because I don't necessarily think it's a good idea for him to be testifying against his soon-to-be ex-wife. They have children together. If we can avoid that, that would be a good thing. So would you please tell me what it is that you think he can contribute to this case?
That it was a loan, and he's got an email here that he had exchanged with the defendant.
Oh, well, I'll see that.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Children didn't ask for you to get married, and the children didn't ask for you to get divorced. So you're supposed to make it most comfortable for the children, because in the words of my father, 2 innocent people shouldn't suffer for what 2 guilty people did.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rebecca Morin says former friend Shannon Hastings won't return her maternity clothes and baby's things. Shannon says there was never an agreement to give the items back.
Are those what are left of her maternity clothes? I don't think she needs them anymore, but she should have them. Sure. So give them back to her. Ms. Hastings, having been through the drill of optimum utilization of maternity clothes, you know, they're sort of passed around from family to friends, right, so that you don't use an extra saucer just once for one child or 2 of yours. You can use it until it goes.
Right.
Use it as much as possible. But it seems to me at this point that Ms. Morin was very generous to make these things, let us say, available to you.
I agree.
Now, the crib is no longer there, so you can't have it back. And certainly there was no agreement, Ms. Morin, that she would replace anything that broke. Is that right?
No, but it was certainly understood that I wanted my things back.
Of course, but what happens if something broke?
Well, I would think she would have the courtesy to at least call me, return my calls, and tell me it's broken.
Should have. She absolutely should have. But I have a feeling there's lots more there. That she felt as if she was shunned by the church. She made a decision to divorce. It's been a difficult year or so between these 2 people, going back to court, issues of custody and all that entails. You know, do you send clean clothes or dirty clothes? When do you pick up? When do you drop off? All kinds of ridiculous things. With regard to that, and I digress for a moment, all I can say to you is children didn't ask for you to get married, and the children didn't ask for you to get divorced. So you're supposed to make it most comfortable for the children, because in the words of my father, 2 innocent people shouldn't suffer for what 2 guilty people did. Right?
Yep. Totally agreed.
You have 3 children. Try to make their lives as pleasant as possible, and you have to understand whoever is going to have primary custody should have a clear head. So if that's your wife, sir, if she's the primary custodian for the children, you don't want to make her crazy. And if he's going to be spending time with the children, a good deal of time with the children, which he absolutely should, you shouldn't want to stretch him to the limit.
Right.
Also understood?
Definitely.
Okay. So that being said, and whether you've listened to it or not is irrelevant. Whatever you have left of the maternity equipment and child equipment, you should give back to her. She needs it now.
Now, can I say that she added here a playpen and a swing. The letter she sent me certified, she never even stated those. I was never given a playpen and a swing. He has a playpen that the baby sleeps in. So I don't know if that's something that he got from her, but it's not in the letter either.
That's correct. He had 4 items, but he returned them to me within a week of me asking for them. She's never called me. I called her for 6 months.
The baby still sleeps in the
playpen. She has never returned my calls. She won't communicate with me.
Okay. So what do you have left?
I've got an extra saucer.
Good. That goes back.
That's fine. And I've got a car seat. He had the infant car seat. He had the playpen and the swing that I never had.
So you have those 2 items?
Yes.
And these clothes. Okay. So what I want you to do is, I want you to clean them up really nicely, because they are in otherwise good condition.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. And drop them off.
Okay.
Easy. Okay?
Your Honor, can I say that these aren't even my clothes? These are not my clothes.
Listen to me. The maternity clothes you didn't ask for 2 years. I mean, I didn't want to get into this with you. You seem like a really nice lady. The maternity clothes you didn't ask for in 2 years. You don't need them now, certainly, because you're going to have your baby.
Correct.
Right? Right. She finished using them 2 years ago. If you had wanted them back, you shouldn't have called her 6 months ago. You should have called her 2 years ago, year and a half ago.
More
and
than
said,
that.
Listen, 2000, now we're in 2003. I would like my maternity clothes back.
But, Your Honor, I did tell her this was a loan.
No, listen to me. You're not following what I'm saying to you. What I'm saying to you is, if you wanted your maternity clothes back, when was your baby born?
He was 3 months premature. He was born in March of 2001.
Okay. So you had 2 years. Pick up the phone, baby's born in March 2001.
I never even
say,
used
hi,
them.
don't need the maternity things anymore. Congratulations. I'm really glad that you had baby. Baby is nice and healthy. I'm going to come over and pick up my maternity clothes. You chose not to do that. Let them sit in her closet or wherever they were. Maybe she gave them to somebody else to use. Who knows? But you certainly weren't vigilant with the maternity clothes. The other things she used afterwards. So I'm having her return those things to you, but don't push it with regard to the maternity clothes. You were not vigilant in taking them back. Perhaps you didn't expect to use them again. In any event, that's my decision. Those things go back to you.
Parties are excused.
Thank you,
You
Your Honor.
can step out. Number 258 on the calendar, in the matter of Pearson versus Carrico. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Miss Pearson, the defendant is your daughter.
Correct.
And your stepdaughter, sir.
That's right. We call her daughter because we've always called daughter, never used the word step.
But you are not her biological father.
Right.
Did she always live with you?
No, ma'am.
Who did she live with?
When John and I got married in 1998, she was a senior in high school, and she didn't want to leave her senior year in high school to move to Florida with us. So I let her live with her grandparents, her father's parents.
So she lived with her paternal grandparents.
Correct.
Last year in high school. Then, according to your papers, she came to live in Florida with you.
She moved out with her grandparents, and then she moved in with her father, and then she got mad at her father, and she left her father, and she was living from friend to friend to friend to friend's house. She didn't have a permanent address.
Whatever, so she came to live with you.
Then she came to live with us, correct.
Your complaint says that she owes you for certain things, because evidently she didn't stay in your house very long. She moved out, and while she was there, she had some dental work. So you say she owes you for her dental work?
Correct.
She owes you for some car insurance?
Correct.
And telephone bill. Okay. When did you go and live with your parents?
June of this year. I moved down there because my mother was sick and I wanted to make a new beginning for myself, so I moved down there to help my mother.
But things weren't going so smoothly for you.
Well, when I moved down there, I did not know anybody, and
No. When you were living with your father and your grandparents, things weren't going so smoothly, is my question.
My stepmother just caused a lot of problems between me and my father.
Did there come a time then that you moved out of your father's house? Were you living with various friends for a while?
I lived with 2 roommates.
Now, you came down in June, and then you started to have some problems with your teeth. Tell me about it.
I moved down there and I started having excruciating pain in my mouth and swelling, and my mother agreed to take me to the dentist.
Just answer my questions. When was this that you started to have this excruciating pain?
About 2 weeks after I moved down there.
And how old were you at that time?
20.
Were you working?
Not at that time, no.
So you took her to the dentist?
Correct.
And she had what kind of problem?
She had wisdom teeth impacted, and one of them in particular, but they all needed to come out.
So what did you tell her?
So it was my husband's thing. He said, we can't leave her in pain.
Absolutely.
He said, Amanda made a big deal, Your Honor, about being emancipated. So she got herself emancipated the year before. So we told her, you emancipated yourself, you're responsible for your own bills.
Just to say, tell me about the dentist. What did you say to your daughter about taking care of the teeth?
We told our daughter before we took her to the dentist
Yeah.
that we agreed to take her to the dentist to help her. We also told her it was not a gift, it was a loan. She would have to start paying us back when she got a job.
Did that happen?
They told me that I would have to pay them back, and I said, I cannot afford it. I will wait for my insurance from my new job. And they said, no, we cannot leave you in
that's not
pain.
true.
That we would help you, and when we're down the road, when we're old and need bread and Velveeta cheese, as John said, I could pay them back that way by getting that for them.
What kind of job were you expecting?
I was waiting to hear back from a physician's complex as a referral coordinator, Your Honor.
Did you get that job?
Yes, I did.
Are you still working there now?
No, I do not.
lost it.
Shh. Okay. Now tell me about the car.
Okay. Amanda was working for this major physician's place in Orlando. I've been very ill and been diagnosed with some severe medical problems, but I was getting up every day, taking her back and forth to work, picking her up from work. My husband thought it was taking too big of a stress on me, and it truly was. So we agreed, we talked to Amanda because at this point in time, she was doing everything. You know, she was going to work, she was paying off her bills in Indiana, she was doing, you know, basically what she needed to do as a responsible young adult. So she could not get a car on her own. And so my husband and I, we did not want our name on the title of the car. So therefore, we chose not to co-sign a loan for her because she has wrecked so many automobiles in the past. And we didn't want to be sued if she wrecked this one. So we took money out of our savings. And
how much?
$7,700 some dollars.
$7,700 and some odd dollars.
And you purchased her a car? We
purchased her a car with the 3-year warranty, bumper to bumper.
And that was clearly a gift?
No.
No, ma'am. That was...
Well, that's what I thought parents were forced
It's
to
not
help
part
you.
of this suit because it's a contract agreement.
Which she signed.
And-
Okay.
So,
So
she
you
agreed to
purchased
pay
this car.
$254 to us a month for her car payment, just like she would if she borrowed from a bank or lending institution. And we even only charged her the interest that we was losing off our savings account. We wasn't making money off of or nothing, just the interest we lost off the savings. So she had a very low interest rate. She has yet to make one payment.
I don't feel that I need to.
Well, I'm not getting into the car because the car is something that you say is not part of the suit, but certainly you are claiming the insurance.
Correct.
Did you pay the full year's insurance at one
Yes,
time?
before, because in the state of Florida, you have to have at least 2 months worth of insurance before you can even take the car off the lot. There again, she had no money.
So how much did you lay out for the insurance?
The insurance came to $404.26.
Okay. And the last bill is phone bill.
Oh, Your Honor. Your Honor, my daughter loves to talk. There's no doubt about it. When she was living in Indiana, my father co-signed to get her a cell phone bill. She ran it up to over $600. That's on her credit
The cell phone bill was that much because I kept the contract.
Doesn't matter.
Whatever.
So when she came down here to live with us, she started getting involved with the internet people. And this is why she's mad. Because she got involved with people off the internet and she would call them constantly on the phone. 3-way calling, regular calling, whatever. And she ran our phone bill up to a grand total of $690.32.
No.
Then, Your Honor, she had the audacity before she left to say, well, she paid $100 before, and then she says, she wrote us a check, and right here it is, $250, and then she gave us $50 in cash, and then she was going to pay us the rest. She stopped payment on the check.
Because of the way I was being treated. I do not feel that my mother should sit there and let my stepfather call me a slut and tell me that he thinks the only reason I'm on the internet is because I'm so hard up for sex that I have to meet people off the internet. And when I looked at him and told him I was not a slut, he goes, well, it doesn't sound like that to me. And then time after time told me that I do not deserve to live in their house, that I belong out on the streets, and he's this close from kicking me out where I belong.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kimberly and John Pearson are suing Kimberly's daughter, Amanda Carrico, for unpaid bills. Amanda says they filed the lawsuit because they don't agree with her lifestyle.
Okay. Sounds to me as if when you came down to live with your mom and your stepfather, they really tried to do what was right in order to get you on your feet. You're 20 years old, still a baby. You have to understand that, Miss Pearson. Still a baby.
Correct.
20, going on 12. I want to tell you something. I have tremendous sympathy for you with regard to 2 of the bills that you talk about. One of them is for the car insurance.
Correct.
And one of them is for the phone bill.
Right.
Because God knows I've seen some of those in my time. Not mine. Me, take care of your business, no adjectives, no adverbs. You finish your conversation, you go, but I've had teenagers, and they can sit and talk about the color of the moon for 6 hours. I don't have a heck of a lot of sympathy over the dental bill, and I'm going to tell you why. Because as a parent, even when you're talking about a 20-year-old child, she doesn't have any money, and she's in excruciating pain. You don't first negotiate with her that when she gets a job, she's going to pay you back for this dental work, or even put her in a position of saying to you, listen, I'll wait and won't have my wisdom teeth, my impacted wisdom teeth pulled until after I can get insurance. You take care of the bill because that's what you have to do because you're a parent.
Your Honor, let me explain, though.
Sure.
Please, on the dental bill, Amanda made such a big issue of getting herself emancipated so that she could get something for nothing.
I don't know what you mean.
Well, I can tell you, she had a scholarship in Indiana to go to any university in the state of Indiana. It's called a 21st Century Scholar. And she basically failed out of the first semester.
Okay.
Okay? And so she messed up. She got mad because John and I made too much money for her to qualify for federal and state money. And so we let her dad use her dad's income when she applied the second semester for the money. Her dad made too much money. Well, she'll show us she's going to get emancipated, and then if she's got a court document that says she's emancipated, she automatically qualifies for federal money because she doesn't make hardly any money. So there again, she goes to try to get something for nothing.
Well.
But see, then this little lady, you know, she goes and she takes and she takes and she takes.
Miss Pearson, listen to me.
She's got to stop taking.
Just a second. Are you telling me that the reason your daughter didn't go to college is because she didn't get scholarship?
She went to college. She went to college,
yeah,
but she flunked out.
No, I did not flunk out.
Well, 1.0 GPA, Amanda, is flunking.
That's not my GPA.
Was below a 2.
Hey. No.
Okay.
She wasn't there.
What my husband did for her is she said she didn't want to move to Florida because she earned this scholarship and she had to live in Indiana. My husband told her that's bull. He said, you're not limited to Indiana. Amanda, if you want to move down with your mother, he said, I'll pay your way to any college you want to go. I will pay your way. Offered that to her.
He would have asked me to pay that back as well.
No, we wouldn't have. We offered that to her.
Okay, let's get to the dental bill. I don't think it's right for you to say to her as a parent, which is what's causing this conflict, you have to pay for this dental work that was done, even though you had no money at the time. I cannot imagine myself saying that to any of my 20-year-old children. If they were in excruciating pain, having a discussion with them before I took them to the dentist about paying me back once I started working, or else I wasn't going to pay for the bill. I cannot imagine. Quite frankly, I cannot imagine that.
Your Honor, it wasn't a what if.
To me, that's not.
It wasn't a what if, Your Honor. It was just another point to say, Mandy, okay, we have bailed her out so much. We have bought her so much, bailed her out of her bad check debt. She's got 3 cases in Indiana against her. She's got bad checks all over Florida.
Miss Pearson,
but
I'm
Your Honor,
sympathetic.
but you got to understand, we can't bail her out anymore. She wants to be emancipated and be on her own and be the big girl. Then by George, step up to the plate and be the big girl.
Well, she's got to be on her own
If
with
they feel
regard
like
to
they keep
what?
giving and giving and giving, and I don't, you know, and I just keep taking and I don't give anything back, then why didn't they quit giving so much long ago if they felt that way?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Don't act immature. Not here.
That's fine.
It's clear to me that you've gone through a long period of immaturity. Not bad. Immaturity. You've taken on financial responsibilities and you've defaulted on those financial responsibilities that your parents, mother, stepfather, father, have at various times come in and bailed you out of those problems that you had. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
I have a sense that your mother wouldn't be here today if you weren't assuming a posture of, for want of a better word, arrogance. You did move out of their house.
Yes.
In the home of somebody that you met on the internet.
Yes,
Is that
Your
a
Honor.
fair statement?
Yes.
Okay. As a parent, I'm going to tell you that a parent says, what kind of craziness is that? They worry about it. They think it's not responsible. You don't know this person really other than having a conversation with them over that machine. You may meet them a couple of times. Now, I hope it works out. It's
worked out wonderfully.
Well, for the moment, it's working out wonderful. 6 months from now, I'll see you here and the person here. Trust me on that. Okay. I don't think that your parents are here just because they want money. I think that they're here because they want a certain measure of responsible behavior. And if you ran up a phone bill like that, and if you're driving around in a car and they cover the insurance for the first couple of months, that to me is totally different from taking care of an emergency dental bill.
The dentist was going to let it wait until she got her insurance, but I just couldn't stand to see her in that much pain.
Absolutely right.
And I said to her, Amanda, I can't take it. If you're in pain, we'll take care of it now.
Good. That's what I figured you'd say. Because that's what a parent says.
We love our daughter, Your Honor. We
I
love her enough to
assume
let her
that you
hate
do.
us right
I
now.
assume that you do, and
If
you just don't
then
understand.
You would let that man say what he said about me, about calling me a slut and calling me street trash.
That's not
true.
true.
Numerous
May I
times.
say something, Judge?
Who are you?
I'm Jean.
I know Eugene. Who are you? How are you related to this case?
I'm a friend of Kim and John's. And
No, he can't say anything.
Okay.
I don't think that anything that you have to say will make anything any better between the two of them, and that's quite frankly what I'm trying to do. Make things better between the two of them, not make things worse between the two of them with more accusations. Right now, Ms. Pearson has, quite honestly, at this point, acknowledged the fact that she said to her daughter, I can't stand to see you in pain. Go have the dental work done, and I'll take care of it, because that's what a mother does. I think the insurance on your car is something different, and I think that you should pay them back for that. And I think that the phone bill that you ran up, you should pay them back. And you didn't tell me that you stopped payment on this check that you gave them.
I did because of the way they were treating me, and when I went to get my stuff, it required 3 police officers for me to go get my stuff, because when I arrived to get my mail, my mother and my stepfather informed me I needed to get my mail and leave, and I needed to sign this $76 check that was left over from the insurance they paid. I signed it over to him.
Tax,
I had a $131 payroll check, which they had opened, along with my ATM card, my ATM PIN code, and my license plate and registration to my car that they had opened with my name on it.
Man, you
and
moved out 3 weeks ago. If you didn't want us to get your mail, stop payment on it. I mean,
told me
stop
before
it.
Miss Pearson.
I left the house that unless I signed that payroll check over to them, they wouldn't even consider giving me my stuff.
That's not
and
true.
they said if I do not leave,
That's not true,
they're
ma'am.
not asking me to leave,
Miss
they're
Pearson.
telling me to leave.
Miss
And
Pearson.
that they will call the law. And I said, that's fine. I went to walk to my room, and my stepfather got up off the couch and came toward me, and I have no doubt he would have done something about it.
Amanda,
And
he
she
didn't
was
even
there.
move.
Miss Pearson.
She was there.
Don't speak to her. She's made up this thing in her head, and you're not going to get it out of her head right now. Amanda, you have one mother. You will have one mother your whole life. Before they moved to Florida, did you live with your mother?
Yes.
And you lived with your mother for how long?
For all my life.
And she took care of you?
To the best she could. Yes, she did.
And then when you decided to stay, she kept in touch with you while you were living with your grandparents?
Off and on, causing problems and stuff, but yes.
Well, that's your perception of it. Kept in touch with you when you were living with your father?
A little.
And during that time, you were having some problems?
Yes.
And then when push came to shove, they said, come down. They took out almost $8,000 and bought a car for you. Now, the fact that they expected you to pay for that once you got a job, that's not unreasonable. So I don't think that your mom's a bad gal. I think that she's probably wrong for having brought this matter to a court. But I think she has a certain frustration because I assume since you moved out, you haven't spoken to each other.
No.
But when push comes to shove and you need a kidney, you only have one mother. The mother and stepfather, they're going to take care of your dental work because that's what I think that they intended to do anyway. And I sort of believe the statement about Velveeta cheese that you made a little while ago. You know, when we're old and we need you, you'll pay us back. But I think that you're responsible to take care of the car insurance on a car that you're currently driving and for a phone bill that you racked up. I also think that you might want to take this opportunity to at least open up a dialogue with your mom. You have brothers and sisters?
Yes, one, I have a 14-year-old that's living with them, which they informed me that they were going to keep away from me by putting a restraining order against me for.
Okay. Things are hot. You got to bring them down a decimal. You got to look around where you are today and say there are a lot of terrible things going on in this world today. And these irritations that I'm having compared to everything else that's going on really don't amount to anything. And the importance of family, the importance of staying together and being close to each other and having each other for support is really the most important thing you can do now. Otherwise, you're alone. So I have a sense that's really what your mother wants, and that's why she brought you here, maybe to open up a little bit of a dialogue. So, Amanda, you're young. Young people take longer to get over anger, especially when they feel as if they've been disrespected. Trust me, just think about thousands of people that don't have an opportunity to make up with their mothers. Okay? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,094, which represents the phone bill as well as the $404 for insurance. Thank you.
Versus Hart.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Ms. Murphy, the defendant is your former son-in-law.
Yes, he is.
When did you make the first loan to your son-in-law?
In the early part of 1997. It was a personal loan. It was for $2,700.
For what?
He expressed that he was having some financial difficulties, housing and supporting my grandson. He repaid me $1,000 of that because he got his income tax return.
Okay. What else?
In 1998, my girlfriend went to an auction. Richard needed a sofa. The sofa was $242. I advanced him a personal loan of $300.
For what?
I don't know. He just asked me to lend him the money. We went to Vegas, and I lent him $100.
For what?
To gamble with.
How come you kept lending him this money? He wasn't paying you back regularly, so why would you lend him money to gamble?
Because he looked so dejected when we were in Vegas, so I just felt sorry for him.
Well, you felt sorry for him. Did you give him the $100, or did he say to you, could I please have $100 and I'll pay you back?
I offered to lend. I asked him, did he want a loan? And I said, you would have to pay it back. And he said yes.
No, I don't buy that. I don't buy that. Go ahead. What's
Okay.
next?
Then this time I had put him on a payment plan of $100. He made payments from August to December in $100 increments that came to $500. In April, he came in my house, he gave me $150 and told me that he had other kids and that he had quit his 2 jobs because he was being sued for child support and that he could no longer pay me.
Richard.
Yes, ma'am.
Got a couple of questions to ask you, sir.
Okay.
It appears from your answer that there was a period of time when you had full custody of your son.
Yes, ma'am.
When was that?
From 97 to 99 of September.
1997 to September of 99.
Yes, ma'am. And I can recall the date in January of 97 due to the fact that she called me at work saying that if you feel if I'm a better parent, we'll come pick my son up. So
The court papers can be subpoenaed that says that Richard has custody of Ryan from Thursday to Sunday and my daughter had him the rest of the time.
You have those papers?
According to Marianne, she knows definitely for a fact that I had my son from 97 to 99.
Put your hand down.
I also know that he
Put your hand down. When I need you, I'll call you.
It's like this. When her daughter found a boyfriend, she wasn't going to be my son's mother anymore. She knows that for a fact.
I think that that's probably true. I think that Miss Murphy knew that there was a period of time when your son really needed you to be either a full-time custodian or there a good deal of the time. Isn't that right, Miss Murphy?
He was a very good father, and I give him, my hat goes off to him.
Right. Now, what I assume happened at some point, you met your new wife. Are you married now?
No,
You have a
fiancé.
girl. You have a fiancé.
Yes, ma'am.
With whom you have children.
Yes, I have 2 boys, yes.
With your fiancé.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're not quite ready to make a commitment to get married. Is
Right
that the
now, we're
idea?
trying to
Just
get-
the children are okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have a fiancé and you have 2 little children and things get kind of busy. Your son is with his mother more often than he's with you. She's taking you now to court for child support. You haven't paid child support in a while.
I'm not working at all, so therefore, certain people have told me that I don't have to pay child support if I don't have it. I'm only collecting disability.
What is the nature of your disability?
Right now,
You can't even say it with a straight face. Try saying it with a straight face how you're disabled. Try telling me how somebody who's how tall? 6 foot tall?
6 foot tall.
Standing in front of me.
Ma'am.
What?
I'm a donor patient for my brother who has a kidney disease, so I have high blood pressure. So right now, I'm basically just relaxing, trying to keep my blood pressure down.
Everybody who has high blood pressure stops working. Half the country would be unemployed.
But this, I can't give a kidney if I have high blood pressure.
How long have you been preparing yourself to be a donor?
I've been preparing myself for the past month and a half.
And how long have you been unemployed?
Since April. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to say after June.
Were you paying any child support before
The
June?
last time I made child support payment was $300, $360 for whatever reason they needed.
When?
June of 2000.
Somebody who's got such high blood pressure shouldn't strain themselves and have all these children.
Oh, it ain't about the children, ma'am. It's about the people around me. If it
Children
wasn't for her
create... Listen
daughter
to me.
and
No,
her,
no, 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 no.
I'll be all
Mr.
right.
Hart, making babies makes your heart go faster, right?
Yeah. It does.
Maybe you should stop straining yourself. Mr. Hart, look, you were making payments to Miss Murphy over a long period of time.
I was helping her out due to the fact she helped me out.
Just a second. Sir. You were making payments to her in the amount of $100 a month.
No.
You're in between a rock and a hard place, sir. If you say you weren't making payments to her, you're not going to get credit for any of those payments.
Well, I would say it wasn't a month. I was giving her whatever I had due to the fact she helped me out when I had my son.
I mean, she's lying about that?
Oh, it's a lot of things she was lying about.
Yes, I'll hear you.
I have no reason to stand up here and lie. I have a detailed journal of everything, all the accounting on this.
Let me take a look at it just a second.
I extracted this information from the tape. But more importantly, my daughter owes me money, and I have the same tape on her.
Your Honor, she failed to realize to tell what the $2,700 she gave me for, the circumstances why the $2,700 was given.
Tell me about it.
I didn't ask for the $2,700. I picked my son up from school one day, and he had a lot of bruises on his buttocks and his legs. And I didn't know what to do. So therefore, I took him over to Miss Murphy, and she told me, well, this is what you need to do.
Would you please just explain to me what the $2,700 was for?
It was for the attorney fees.
Is that correct?
No, that is not correct. He has conjured up lies and had other people call my daughter's house leaving threatening messages and have alluded to me giving him money. When I lent him the money, I had no idea what it was for. I didn't ask. My concern is that you pay it back to me.
Your Honor, why was the attorney fees $2,700? Why did she exactly give me $2,700?
Let me see the bill for $2,700 from the attorney.
I don't have everything, but this is...
I just tell you, I don't need everything.
Right
the base,
most
of this money that
Okay.
she claims that you owe is, according to you, the attorney's fees.
Yes, ma'am.
This says balance as of 10/13, $1,034.
Let me find this other letter, ma'am, so I can show you that they gave me actually back, after the case was over, they gave me $700 back, but I don't have that form with me at this time.
I want to see where the original bill was for $2,700, the retainer.
No, they asked for a retaining fee of $2,700.
Show me.
Okay, ma'am, okay, relax. I don't have that at this time, Your Honor. I had a letter showing that this is what they gave me back. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry.
At the time that this happened back in 1997, you saw bruises on the child's body. I
Yes, ma'am.
assume that you were infuriated. Is that right?
I made a police report. A DCFS came out of the house, did an investigation on me. They also did investigation on the school.
Just answer my question.
Yes, ma'am.
You needed money for an attorney. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you didn't have the money right then and there to
I
give
didn't
to the
have all
lawyer.
of it, no, ma'am.
Good. And there is nothing that you can show me where you paid this lawyer a retainer of $2,700.
Not at this time. You can see
Right,
that
because
list
all
right
this
there.
other stuff you gave me says nothing about $2,700.
Well, if I had it, I would sure give it to you.
Because what it shows is that there were different amounts that you paid off different amounts at different times, not $2,700 at one fell swoop.
Well, actually, I wish I had.
Actually.
I don't have that. No.
Of course you don't have it because, sir, let me explain something
Because
to
I
you.
wasn't prepared to bring that information in court, sir. But
Well,
if we...
Mr. Hart, I don't know why you weren't prepared to do that, sir, because that is your answer, that you used this $2,700 for an attorney. So it would seem to me, with all the other paperwork that you brought, you would have brought that one document showing you took the $2,700 from the plaintiff and you paid the attorney with it. That's the one document that I would have.
Yes, one document I wish I had.
Oh, well, that's too bad. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,538. And let me tell you what I'm taking off.
Okay.
Taking off the $100 you were foolish enough to give him to gamble. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You may step out.
Stabbed me in the back like she stabbed her daughter in the
And
back.
it wasn't even about the money, that he didn't owe her any money. It was about me having harassment suit from her daughter and her so that he would not be able to see his son.
Justice prevailed. It just isn't paid a lot.
And now the next case.
All parties on Bose versus Fritz. Step forward, please.
33-year-old business owner Nicholas Bose is suing his ex-girlfriend, 36-year-old bartender Karen Rose Fritz, for an unpaid truck loan and rent. Karen is countersuing for damaged clothes and jewelry.
Mr. Bose, according to your complaint, you and the defendant dated for a while. You made a loan to her of about $400 for a car.
Yes.
The relationship terminated. You claim she not only owes you the money for the car, but owes you for a month's rent.
Right.
She says that the money for the car was not a loan but a gift, and that you had thrown her out of the apartment, and therefore there was no reason for her to pay rent in an apartment where she was not living.
Correct.
She has, however, a counterclaim. She indicates that you vandalized some of her property and retained some of her property. Tell me about the circumstances surrounding this loan for her car.
My friend here had a van for sale and she wanted it, so I told her I would lend her the money, and when she got her taxes back, she was supposed to pay me back.
Was that the arrangement?
Yes.
So, Ms. Fritz, you tell me your version of the conversation surrounding this $400 for the van.
I was waiting for my paycheck to come, and I told him I would pay for it, but he said as long as he had the money, he would pay for it for me.
You think that he said that as long as he had the money, he perceived that you were going to have a long-term future together?
Yeah.
So don't you think it's right that you return this $400 to him since you were going to pay for it anyway?
I don't feel I should have to.
Okay. Now tell me about the rent on the apartment.
She was supposed to be paying $300 a month. I have a copy of the lease here, and in regards to the van, Karen filed a restraining order on me. Here's the lease. Sir?
He wants to show this.
If you look under tab 4, her testimony in court, she says, I do not deny owing him the $400.
You did say that?
Correct. I don't deny owing him the money, but when I went over to...
Well, you denied it today. What is this month's rent you're suing her for?
Karen, in November, almost died from drinking. April 1st, I went to the bar. She was drinking, and she got mad at me because I gave Don another $60 that we owed him on the van. She started yelling at me, screaming at me. She just lost control. And then she went and spent the night at her ex-boyfriend's house. I did not kick her out. She chose to go live with this other guy.
Had you moved into this apartment together, sir?
No.
You're going to continue to pay the rent and live there because you want to stay there?
Yes.
Okay. Now let me hear about your counterclaim.
I went to pick up some clothing, and he said that he threw outside. And on there was a note that said, it was my old marriage license. It was a bad word that we don't want to say. And then I looked at the clothing when I got back to the house, and it was either bleached or it was cut up, and then there was jewelry that was ran over.
Did you?
Ma'am?
Yes.
No, ma'am, I did not. If you look on tab 6, in her testimony, she says Lakewood police came with her, and they saw that the clothes were torn up, but did not make a report. They didn't make a report because it didn't happen. Her clothes were fine.
You have the clothes with you?
Yes, I do.
Let me see them.
They were fine when I set them out there.
No, I'm sorry.
That's why Lakewood police did not make a report over it.
What's this jewelry box that you have here?
He had pulled into the parking lot where I work and proceeded to get out, and then he backed up and left. That was the remainder of what was left in the parking lot after he had left.
That's untrue, Your Honor. She had Lakewood police come question me that day, and she told them I was on videotape in the parking lot, and I was not on it when they went and reviewed the tape.
You know about that?
It's a revolving tape. It doesn't actually...
Whatever. Was he on the tape?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Take these old clothes.
This is what was on the clothing when he left.
I did not write that on there, Your Honor.
Whatever. Even if you did, that clothing that's in that box is not worth very much. Certainly not worth $1,000 that you're suing for.
Yeah.
Trust me. Do you claim that he also has jewelry that belongs to you?
Yes, I do.
What jewelry?
It was a teardrop earring that he will not give me back because of this suit that we have going on.
The only thing I have of hers is a VCR and some dishes that I kept until she paid me the money.
What about this piece of jewelry? Where did you leave that?
That was left in a jewelry box, along with 2 rings that I just bought him.
Well, how did you get your clothes? Basic clothes.
That's it.
You never got any other clothes that were there? I mean, that's all the clothes
No,
that you...
that's all I have. He's got the rest of his house.
Is this the only thing that you put on the porch, this little box?
No.
It's not?
No.
You must have had lots of clothes. You have coats, you have jackets.
Right.
Right?
I put everything...
Well, where's the rest of that stuff?
All I got, this is a basket. That is all I got.
I put all of her clothes on the porch. I put her son's clothes on the porch.
No, you didn't.
A few things.
Just a minute. Miss Fritz, I cannot believe that you did not get back son's clothes, son's things, underwear. I don't believe that. I don't believe it for a minute.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Sure. Who are you?
Don Thomas. I'm the one who sold him the minivan.
Yes.
There's also a $240 balance on the minivan that I've never received.
Sure.
I was hoping the rings were worth more than $240. That way I could get my money.
Why?
Maybe she could
Where are
give
the
me
rings?
her rings.
Where are the rings?
I don't know. Maybe she could give them to me so I can get the rest of my money for my minivan.
This is not one-stop shopping. If you feel as if she still owes you money for a van, you have to go to court, as he did, and file a complaint. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Your rent, you'll take care of. But you are owed $460. As far as your counterclaim is concerned, I do not believe that those items were the only items you retrieved from the plaintiff's home.
I have a copy of the police report that was written from that day that was here.
Sure, I'll take a look at it.
And I had 2 witnesses to verify that that's all that I had.
So where are they?
The kids.
Where are they?
They
Where are your
couldn't come
witnesses?
today. So I brought the one that saw the jewelry being run over in the parking lot.
Well, you reported this to the police a week and a half after you allegedly picked up your clothes. Your current boyfriend said somebody threw a paintball at his car and he saw a red convertible. And you told the police that some time ago you found that some of the articles had been cut up. So you did not report this to the police at the time you allegedly found it. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. If somebody cut up all my clothes, did not return my clothes, I would have been on the phone that day. We understand each other?
Yes.
Good. Now, step up. You want to tell me about what you saw, about jewelry?
I saw a red convertible pull into the parking lot. It stopped, backed up, pulled forward again, pulled out of the lot, and went west. About 10 minutes later, a patron came into the bar, said, I found this jewelry. I went out to the parking lot and spent approximately 2 hours picking up jewelry that was scattered across the parking lot.
Did you ever drop jewelry off at the parking lot?
No, ma'am.
What kind of car do you
That's
drive?
A red convertible. But everybody's seen it up there. If I was doing that, ma'am, I would be on the videotape.
Maybe there's a good reason that you both have restraining orders. This jewelry here isn't worth $1,000.
Well,
I let my
it's
grandchildren
sentimental
play.
value,
I let my grandchildren play with this stuff. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $460. Ms. Fritz, I do not believe that you have any other items in his house other than your VCR and your dishes, neither of which you're suing for. Do you want them?
Yes, I do.
Good. Within 5 days, we'll make an arrangement to go and pick up with a police officer VCR and your dishes. The dishes are to be in one piece, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
VCR, too. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Your Honor, this is case number 453 on the calendar in the matter of Lockett versus Perry.
Thank you.
Quite welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Ms. Lockett, according to what I read in your complaint, you and the defendant have a long relationship dating back about 5 years. You have a 2-year-old child together. It is your claim that in 1997 you made a loan to the defendant. Again, in 1999 you made a loan to the defendant. Now that you are no longer a couple, you want those loans paid back. He is counterclaiming. He says you vandalized his car, and years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, you were using his car and got parking tickets. He wants you to pay those 4-year-old parking tickets, right?
That's correct.
Have you nothing better to do with your time? Tell me about this first loan in 1997.
In 1997, Mr. Perry and I worked at a company together, and I quit before he was fired, and he was caught stealing money from the company, and they had made an arrangement for him to make payments, and I used to go with him every week to drop off the payments because he was not allowed to set foot on the premises anymore. And after a while, he decided to stop making payments, and they demanded the money in full, and he asked me to loan him the money, and I did.
How much did you give him at that time?
$2,150.
Now, what arrangements were made to repay that money?
He was supposed to start making payments to me as soon as he got back to work, like within the next month or so.
Well, did he ever do that?
No, he never made any payments to me. He lost his job soon thereafter, and after that, he was fired from like 4 other positions, 2 for stealing apparel or money as well. And every time it was time for him to make a payment to me, there was always something else that he had to do with his money so that he could not pay me my money back.
So then you had a child with him?
We had a child together.
No, afterwards. After he lost all his jobs, you knew he caught stealing. Just listen to me. After you knew he got caught stealing, according to you, he promised to pay you back this money in a month, and he never did. So he didn't make payments in all of 1997. He didn't make payments in all of 1998. He lost all these jobs. That's why he didn't make payments. So then you decided to start a family together. Does that sound like very good judgment to you?
No, I was young, and I was in love. So no, it's not very good judgment, and I would be the first one to say that.
All right. When was the last time you asked him for this money?
The last time I asked him for the money, it was December of 2000. And we were on the phone talking, and I said, you know, it's entering another year. Do you think you could come up with some of my money? And he said, well, I don't plan on paying you anytime soon, and that the first time he would be able to make me a payment would be 2003 because he planned on giving me a lump sum of money. And that, okay.
Now, after 1997, and he didn't pay you back a penny, then according to you, you lent him more money.
Yes.
When?
In 1999, he called me from jail. He had been arrested on a traffic violation of some sort. He said he had some of the money with him in jail, that he was going to be able to use some of that for bail money, and that as soon as he got out of jail, we were going to go to the bank. When I got to the jail, I bailed him out. His sister and I drove him to the bank. He made up some story about the police keeping his identification card, and he could not pay me the money back again. So after everything was over, he had it was a fine due for $300, and he refused to pay the fine. And he told me I should just go on and sign my bail money over too, and he would pay me back that at a later date. And I never signed.
So he had a fine.
A fine.
Of the same amount as your bail money, which is $300. So you just signed your bail?
I didn't sign it over. I refused to sign it over. And after a while, they said if he didn't make payment, that it was going to be forfeit. So it was forfeit anyways. And he just never gave me the money back for that.
When you were arrested in 1999 on this traffic problem that you had, were you arrested in your car?
Yes.
What kind of a car were you arrested in?
It was not my car. It belonged to my sister.
Just a second. Was that my question?
You said what type of car? It was
Yeah, I didn't ask you whose car it was. I said, what type of car is
Make
it?
and model?
Yes.
89 Nissan Sentra, I believe.
The Toyota Camry. It was a Toyota Camry he was arrested in, a blue Toyota Camry.
Oh, yes, I remember it well. Do you currently own a car?
Yes, I do.
What kind of car do you own?
I own a black 1991 Eagle Premier.
How much did you pay for the car?
$2,500.
And what kind of work are you doing now, Mr. Perry?
I'm a market analyst.
You work for a company?
Yes,
How long have you been working for that company?
3 years.
Who has physical custody of your child?
Miss Lockett does.
Are you currently under a support order for your child?
Yes, I am.
Are you up to date in your support payment?
Oh, yes.
Is that correct?
No, he owes money on it still. He contacted me and told me they said they were going to garnish his income tax because he still owes back money on child support.
How much does he owe on his child support?
I don't know how much he owes on it. I don't know.
When did he start to make child support payments?
He started to make child support payments when my son was almost a year old, so he owed money from June. I didn't get my first payment until October of '99.
That's not correct, Your Honor. She's being dishonest at this point.
Okay, so there were a couple of months, but since October of 1999, he's been making the support payments.
Oh, it's garnished, so yes, I get it directly.
Oh, it is garnished,
yes,
right,
it
from
is
his
garnished
salary?
because he refused to
that's
pay it.
perfect. All right, Mr. Perry, let's start out with this $2,150.
Okay.
What company were you working for at the time that Miss Lockett indicates that you had some difficulty?
I should say, Your Honor, that Miss Lockett is making up the bulk of her story.
All right, what company was he working for?
Bagel.
Bagel. Where
Yeah.
are they located?
It's in Rochester, New York.
And what was he doing there?
It wasn't as high as a manager, but he was in a position higher than me, so maybe like a key holder or something of that nature.
Okay. Do you remember the name of his immediate superior?
It was Ron, but he's no longer with the company.
That's convenient.
Oh, I'm good at this. Believe me, I'm good at this. Do you recall whether or not they reported this to the police?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Also very convenient. Sorry, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Do you remember the entire amount that it was alleged he stole?
No, he never told me how much. He never told me how much money they said he stole.
Okay. Now, Mr. Perry,
Yes, Your Honor.
before I go and try to make heads or tails of this thing, why don't you tell me? You said there wasn't the whole truth about this incident at Bagel, but it was only a partial truth.
No.
So tell me your version of what happened in 1997 when you worked for Bagel.
Your Honor, Miss Lockett is manipulating facts that have happened.
No, I'm asking you, just tell me what
There's
happened.
nothing that happened at Bagel. So to tell you, answer your question specifically.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened at Bagel. She can provide absolutely no documentation because there was never any incidents of me stealing money or doing anything of that nature at Bagel. I resigned from Bagel. She is lying. She cannot prove
Your Honor,
any
that's
of
not true.
anything that she is saying is
Okay.
totally a lie.
That-
As far as that goes, there is partial truth to what she's saying.
So then let me hear the partial truth before you irritate me and I have to go investigate myself.
I was arrested on a traffic violation, and she did bail me out of jail.
I'm not there yet.
Oh, that's the only truth.
I'm talking about 1997, an alleged loan to you of $2,150.
That's all a lie. That's all a lie.
That's not true.
Okay. You have a bank withdrawal for $2,150
I have
on or
a
about
bank.
that time?
Yep, a bank statement that I withdrew.
Can I see it? Did you give that money in check or cash?
I gave it to him in cash. He went with me to the bank, actually. He picked me up from school and drove me to the bank so I can give him all of my money.
What's the area code in Rochester, New York?
716.
Thank you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Catrice Lockett says Jason Perry owes her for paying back an employer who accused him of stealing. Jason denies the charge and the loan.
Good morning. This is Judge Judy Scheindlin. I have a case before me that involves a former employee of yours. I don't know how long you've been there, but this person was employed back in 1997. Jason Perry, P-E-R-R-Y. Okay, great. I'm taking testimony now with regard to some money that he paid back to Bagel in October of 1997. A payment of $2,150. Is that right? Okay. What was the total amount it was alleged that he took? Do you remember? Right. Okay. You have been an absolute angel. Thanks, Lisa. Bye-bye. You stole $5,000. Your parents paid back the rest. $2,150 was paid by her. Do you? Because that was the last payment. According to somebody who has, in fact, been there for a very long time and knows you, sir. See what happens when you lie? You think I'm stupid?
No, but that's
Good.
not true.
So, it's not true. No, I called somebody and I said, listen, are you familiar with Mr. Perry? Oh, yes, I am. There an incident in 1997 with regarding some money that he paid back to Bagel? Oh, absolutely. Do you recall how much money he paid?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Judgment for the plaintiff on her complaint in the amount of $2,435. I'm not even getting into anything else with him, because once somebody lies, they don't get a second chance with me. Your counterclaim's dismissed, sir. That's all.
Oh, you may step out.
I can't believe this. She was lying through her teeth, and I don't know who Judge Judy called. That's ridiculous. But this whole thing has been a farce.
I feel like I got my justice, and I want everyone to watch out for this man because he will suck you dry.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Chase versus Brooks. Step forward.
33-year-old bus driver Tammy Chase is suing her former friends, Susie and Larry Brooks, for car payments. Tammy says the Brooks repossessed the car.
Miss Chase, the defendants were friends of yours.
Yes.
And some time ago, you were talking about buying a new car. According to what I've read in your papers, the defendants suggested that they had a car, and if you wished to take over the payments on the car would be yours when the car was paid for.
Yes.
And you did take over the payments and take possession of the car.
Mm-hmm.
According to you, you made all those payments, and despite that, they came and repossessed the car. You won all the payments that you made the time that the car was in your possession. They say you were late with your payments and sometimes came up short, so they repossessed the car. Right?
Right.
When did you take possession of the car?
In May. I made the first payment in April, though.
And what were the monthly payments?
It was $387.68.
And how many months did you have the car?
From April till October.
7 payments you made in total. Did you pay by check or cash?
Cash, 1 check, and money orders.
Let me see the checks and the money orders.
It begins here. And it goes on to the other pages.
And how many payments do you claim that you received for the car?
I claim that she made all 7 payments.
Okay, so there's no dispute as to that?
No.
She made all 7 payments?
Right.
If she made all 7 car payments, why did you take back the car?
Because she made the payments, but she made them late.
Yeah.
And she also made them, she didn't pay them all in full. She was short.
But you said she made all the payments she was supposed to make.
She never paid the full amount each month, and she never paid it on time.
How much short do you claim she was?
Well, 1 month I got a check that was a $70 check that bounced.
Which month was that?
This was in August. When I called her and asked her about it, she said to talk to her boyfriend because it wasn't he owed her the money and it wasn't her responsibility.
Did she ever make up that check?
No. Her boyfriend did.
I don't care whether she or her boyfriend did. So you got the full amount for August.
No, I got that. First of all, the payments were late. Our agreement, I have a written agreement stating that if she was late, I would take the car back.
And that was a 5-day grace period.
How much do you claim she paid you in total towards the car in the 7 months she had the car, madam?
Probably.
Not probably. You must have a record.
I don't have a record because I've never given her a receipt because I've never seen her since June. So I couldn't have given her receipts.
Look, Miss Brooks, I'm not asking you about receipts. If somebody is short when they give you money, then you keep a ledger. The ledger says, this is what she's paid me, this is what she owes me. What, are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. I couldn't do that because, first of all, she never paid me. She paid my husband. She never paid my husband.
He's not allowed to talk. Right?
Okay, okay.
You're
Well,
doing
can I
all the
tell
talking.
Can I tell you how it started first so that you can understand where we're at right now? There's a situation
I
that
don't
gets to
care
this point.
about anything other than the car. You can't
That's
take
what
back...
I want to tell you about.
Go ahead.
Okay, what had happened was we have a written agreement here stating that if she was late on the car, we would, at any time after the grace period, we would take back possession of the car.
Which I never used the grace period at all.
Excuse me, it's my turn.
Well, then
Okay, then in July she started making late payments. I would call her on the 5th and say, Tammy, if there's going to be a problem with making the car payment, you need to call me and let me know. She would call me the date of the thing and say, I need 5 more days grace period, I don't have all the money. So there was always a problem. So then there was a problem with reckless driving in the car. So we took the car back once. We had the car back in our possession for 1 week, and then we gave it back to her. Then when we gave her back the car, then the problems continued to start. So what we decided to do, I told her, Tammy, instead of making the payments, I said, bring me back the car. It's not working out because every time I would call her on the phone, there was a verbal abuse. I'll pay you whenever I want to. It was a big problem.
But you can't take the car back and then not give her back any money.
I told her, when we got the car repoed, I said, I will give you $200, the money that you pay for this month, I will give it back to you in full. It's not working out. It's nothing but problems.
Just a second. So you were willing to give her back the money she paid for the last month and you were going to take back the car. What about some of the other money that she paid towards paying off your car note?
Well, we never asked for a down payment on the car. We've been paying on the car for 3 years.
Yeah. You've been paying on the car for 3 years and she paid on it for 7 months. But you have the car.
Right. We have the car, but it's not necessarily because of the car payment. It was because of what she was doing in the car. We could not be responsible.
Let us assume that you are correct, that she did not live up to her agreement to pay the note on time, and that at least 1 month she gave you a $70 check that bounced. It bounced, did it not?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So that clearly is a late payment.
Correct.
Because it bounced. So that's in violation of your agreement.
Correct.
Fine. You take back the car. What you're suggesting is that when you take back the car, she loses all of her money. Is that what you're suggesting? You have the equity in the car. You have the car. I'm speaking. You're not going to get all this money back. I mean, you have to pay something. You had the use of a car for 7 months. How much do you think you should have to pay for your use of that car? Because you used it for 7 months. You're not going to get all your money back. That means you had use of a car for 7 months for free.
Okay, first of all, I used it for 6 months because I made the first car payment in April. I didn't get it till May.
6 months.
I don't know. I've never thought about it. I figured I should get the money the payments that I put into it, I should get back.
That means you had free use of a car.
Can I just state one thing? Okay, the car, they did not repossess the car. They did not make payments to the finance company for 3 months. That's why it
Doesn't
was
make any
repossessed.
difference.
The money I was giving them, though, they weren't paying the finance company to the car.
Doesn't make any difference. You breached the agreement with them. You breached the agreement with them. They were within their rights to take back the car. You want me to read you the agreement?
No, I know what the agreement is about, but the month that the check bounced is one of the months that they didn't even pay the finance company.
It has nothing to do with you.
Can I at least get my stereo out of the car?
Yes, absolutely. They have no problem with that. They have no problem with that. Within 24 hours of the order, you will return the stereo to them. How much did you pay for the stereo, by the way?
$171, the receipt.
Okay, and I'm going to give you $100 per month for the 7 months that you paid for the car. That is what I consider your equity in the car. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $700 plus the stereo. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step down. This is case number 527 on the calendar in the matter of Crowell versus Roman. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks have seats.
Ms. Crowell, I assume that this is your granddaughter.
Yes.
And you had a car. You let your granddaughter borrow your car.
Yes.
Your granddaughter allowed the defendant to drive the car.
Right.
The defendant was in an accident.
Yes.
Damaged your car. You want him to pay for it. Right?
Right.
You, step up here. What's your first name?
Mira.
All right, Mira, when did you borrow your grandmother's car?
On January 11th.
How long had you been driving?
Since I've been 15 years old.
Did you have a license when you were 15?
I had a learner's permit. I've been driving with my parents.
All right, now on the 11th of January, where did you meet Mr. Roman?
At a friend's house. We met at a friend's house in the early afternoon. And then in the late afternoon, like around 4 or 5, he asked to borrow my car to run his own personal errands.
Speak not until I get to you. Go ahead.
To run his own personal errands, and then he returned my car around 7 o'clock after
When he said he wanted to borrow the car to run his own personal errands, he didn't say personal errands.
No, he said he was going by his house or to his work or something. It was in the same general area. So I told him he could use the car because I'd driven with him before, and he drove perfectly fine. And I wasn't breaking any of the rules that my grandmother and I had agreed on when she let me use the car. And I had signed a contract for that. And
you mean you signed a contract with your grandmother?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Good for you. Let me see the contract. Who prepared this agreement?
I did.
You crossed out number 1.
Because I started growing my hair out.
You had cut your hair very short? Mm-hmm. Like a crew cut?
No, well, I cut it really short and...
Long in the front?
Yeah, it was long in the front.
Bird, I just want... Grandma's a tough cookie. I will not acquire any tattoos on my body. I will not allow any parts of my body to be pierced. Not use any drugs. Not smoke anything. Not consume any alcohol prior to age of 21. And never while driving the car. Maintain the car in clean condition. Will attend school. Take driver's ed. Will work or travel or attend school every summer. Will drive defensively, cautiously, and will not allow anyone under the age of 21 to drive this car. You signed it.
Yes, ma'am.
That's great.
Can I get a copy of this?
You sure can.
Thank you.
Bird wants a copy. You don't mind, do you? Okay. In any event, how old are you?
21.
So?
Can I, first bite?
I'm not with you yet. So when he came back after borrowing the car, what happened?
He came inside and...
How much later?
A few hours. And he came inside and told me he had something to tell me. And I was like, you know, what? And he told me he wrecked my car, he'd been in an accident. And I thought he was joking because I didn't believe it. And he brought me outside to show it to me. And then he proceeded to apologize to me for wrecking my car and told me that he would take care of it for me. He told me then that he hadn't filled out an accident or police report. And so I asked him if we could do that. And he said, no, we can't, because it was a hit and run and it wasn't my fault. And at that point, I said, okay, well, I don't know what to do about it then, so we'll wait till tomorrow.
When did you let your grandmother know about the accident?
I was out of town. My mother died, and I was in Alabama taking care. She had just died and taking care of that, and I was going through that trauma. So Chris, my son-in-law, tried to take care of things for me. So.
Okay. When did you tell your father?
I told my father the next day. And he told me to contact my insurance company and see what they had to say, which I did. And they said that they wouldn't do anything because the insurance that I had wasn't collision insurance or...
What kind of car was this?
A 1993 Honda Civic EX.
You had personal injury insurance, but no collision, I assume.
Because I'm on a limited income, and with a teenager driving, I couldn't afford collision. It was about twice as much with the liability.
Okay. Can I see photographs of the car?
Yes, ma'am.
They're in the packet, Your Honor. They're on the back of Section 3 is the 3 estimates we got to repair the car, and the pictures are at the back of Section 3.
Thank you. Okay. You're up.
You ready? All right. Basically, how it started is I was at a party that I had met her. I think maybe this contract that she just gave you must be pretty recent for the fact that probably the first 5.
Listen to me.
The first 5.
All I want to know is how you got the car and how you got into this accident.
Okay. I'm going to let you know. Basically, I was at this party. I had met, we had mutual friends. I had met her that night. It was late. Wasn't any time in the daytime. It was nighttime. Early morning, maybe 3, 4 in the morning. I was on my way out. I had plenty of friends there that could have given me a ride. I had no reason to ask her for the car. She asked me if I could pick up one of her friends that her friend Wilma or somebody needed to be picked up, that she was having problems with her mom. She needed to get out of the house. So I said, look, at the same time, I need to bring my record back home. I've been up tired. I need to bring it home. So I proceeded to bring my book bag home. On the way back...
I don't understand. I just didn't understand that, sir. Did I not understand it on purpose? First, you tell me she asked you to pick up her friend Wilma, and then you started to fumpy over, you had a book bag and a record, you wanted to bring it home. Let's get to, she asked you to pick up her friend Wilma? You also wanted to take a record home?
No, my record bag home, because I had it with me and I was...
So you wanted to take your record bag home? Stop playing with the pen. You wanted to take your record bag home?
Yeah.
So, now that I understand that, continue. So you said...
Well, after that, I told her that, I explained to her that, look, I didn't have insurance, I didn't have a car at the time, but I had a valid driver's license.
You had this whole discussion?
Yeah.
Listen to me. I want you to tell me everything that happened. Not everything that you believe should have happened, that you would have liked to have been said. Do you understand? Because I have had children who are teenagers, who are 19 and 20 and 21 years old. And if somebody asks you to take a friend home and you want to take your book bag home, you do not have a conversation about whether you have a valid driver's license or is there insurance on the car. Listen to me. Listen to me. Now, you listen to me, because I'm smarter than you. You could live to be 200, you won't be as smart as I am. Do you understand that?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 18-year-old Mira Crowell says she loaned her grandmother's car to Michael Roman. Mira says Michael wrecked it and refuses to pay.
Just tell me the truth. Simple, clean, and easy. You were going to go pick up her friend and also go to your house to bring home a book bag.
Exactly.
Right.
But this wasn't on my choice. I didn't want to. From the beginning, once again, I did not want to bring her or even do her the favor of bringing
Then you don't do it.
Exactly.
Then you...
Exactly.
Then you don't do it.
Okay, exactly. But
Good.
She continued...
But you got... I don't care whether you're going to tell me that she continued to beg you, plead you, whatever. Put the pen down. Stop scratching your ear. You don't get behind the wheel of a car if you didn't want to do it. You did want to do it, so you got behind the wheel of her car. Is that right? Did she, in fact, point a gun in your head and say, go get my friend? Yes or no?
No.
Did she take out a knife, threaten you in any way?
No.
Did she threaten to call the police if you didn't do her this favor?
No.
Did she threaten to tell your family that you had done something grotesque to her?
No, ma'am.
No. So you got her keys, and you got in the car.
She gave me the keys.
Yes,
and
she gave you the keys.
Proceeded to go home to bring my record back home.
So the first thing you did was go home, right?
Right.
So you took care of your chore first, right?
Exactly.
Good. When did you get into the accident?
The reason, let me take one step back. The reason that...
No, you listen to me. You took your book bag home.
Mm-hmm.
Did you take your book bag home before or after the accident?
Before the accident.
So you got home with your book bag and there was no accident?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you left your house, where was your next stop?
To her friend's house.
And how far away was that from your house?
Maybe 3 miles.
And how far did you get before you had the accident?
Maybe 2 miles.
Now tell me about the accident.
I was coming down Highway 50, and that's a main highway, state road. There was a Cadillac in the fast lane. I was in the medium lane, the middle lane, proceeding down the road. I noticed that they kind of were driving hazardous. Whoever the person was driving just tapping their brake lights. They were kind of swerving. They proceeded to get in front of me, so I switched over lanes because I noticed, You
switched over to the fast lane?
Yeah, I switched over to the fast lane to not be in back of them. They slammed on their brakes and turned this way, back into my lane. The bumper of the back bumper of her car touched the front bumper of the Civic. Spun me off into there was a construction site going on at the time. There was temporary construction signs. Spun me off into a median. One of the temporary signs hit the windshield, spun me back off into the middle of the road. And I stopped the car, pulled it over. And as soon as I got out of the car, the other car kept going. So I proceeded to pull the car over into a parking lot because there was a mall right there. So I pulled it over, looked at the car, see if it was drivable. I realized that I wasn't too far from home. I was really nervous. I had previously explained to him that, I didn't personally have insurance.
I don't believe that.
Okay, but...
So let's get over that. I don't believe that you personally explained to her that you had no insurance. It's not consistent with
But
human...
that's a big part of my case. I mean...
It may be a big part of your case. I don't believe it.
But that...
I don't believe it.
Okay, so anyway, so basically after that had happened, I was nervous. I was kind of shook about the whole situation with the car. So I knew I was only maybe a mile and a half from the house where the party was going on still. Brought her back the car, explained to her the situation that had happened, brought her outside, showed her the car, and explained to her that I felt that we should call the cops and that I would personally tell them that I was driving and that at least they would have a police report of some sort. And from then on, we continued on. Nothing had happened. She never called the cops. 3 days later, we continued partying. We hung out. I continued to drive the car. She let me borrow the car the next day.
Did you let him borrow the car the next day?
Yes. And can I explain why?
Sure.
Because he had a pager, and he said that that was the only number he would give us, was his pager number. And he said that if he didn't get it paid for that day, I was going to get shut off. And I didn't want to I didn't want to lose contact with him. And the car was I wasn't going to drive it wrecked, like all the way.
Baloney. That's a fib. All you have to do is have his name. You call the police. You say he was in an accident with my car. It was a hit and run. Somebody hit the car. Police come. They take his name. They take his address. I guarantee you, he doesn't need a cell phone in order for you to stay in contact with him. So that's a lot of baloney. You know it, and I know it. What do you want to say? You want to say something in defense of that?
In defense of Muir, if I could.
In defense of that baloney that she let him drive the car again after he wrecked it?
No.
Of course not. You don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
Right. There is no defense for that, right?
I agree.
Good.
Basically, one thing I was just trying to say is that, I mean, basically from the beginning of the whole situation when we first talked, I told her that I did not want to use the car, and I personally would not take responsibility.
Roman, listen to me, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I don't see why you don't...
We take responsibility for our actions. When somebody coerces you, threatens you with physical harm, sometimes people have to do things that they would ordinarily not do.
Mm-hmm.
If what you want me to believe is you were coerced into using this car because this young woman begged you, pleaded with you, wouldn't take no for an answer, and if you want me to accept that as an excuse, I will not.
No, that's not what I'm saying. If you let me finish, you'll hear what I'm saying. I personally just did not, regardless if it's my friend, if it was her, if it's any friend, if I do not have insurance, which I do not, and at the time I was going through problems with my car and my insurance and payments on that, I let her know. You see what I'm saying? That I did not have, no, just let me finish.
You said it before, and I'm telling you, you're a liar. At 4 o'clock in the morning, when you said this happened, you don't have a conversation with her and say to her, I'm going to take your car, and I'm going to first drop off my book bag at my house. Then I'll go pick up your friend. But by the way, I'm having trouble with my car and my own insurance, so therefore I don't have insurance. I hope you have insurance. Does that sound right to you as the parent of teenagers? It's inconsistent with Bird's and my experience as a parent.
You're still not understanding what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm understanding you. I'm understanding. You know what I'm understanding? Shh. You know what I'm understanding? What? You had an accident, and you got to pay for the car. You were driving, your fault.
But
you were driving, your fault. Because if a Cadillac is in front of me swerving, what you do is you very slowly put on the brake. You slow down to about 20 miles an hour and you let the Cadillac get really far in front of you because it's 4 o'clock in the morning. They probably had a whole bunch to drink and you want to stay as far away from them as possible. That's what you do when you're an adult and when you are driving defensively. However, when you're a 21-year-old idiot, right? Then you get right on the behind of the Cadillac, you move around, they change lanes, you change lanes, and all of a sudden you get into an accident. Not on purpose. You didn't mean to destroy her car, but you destroyed her car. She doesn't have collision insurance. She has liability insurance, which means that if you had killed somebody, that insurance would have had to have been responsible. But because you just wrecked the car, who was supposed to be responsible? Mrs. Cromwell, who was taking care of funeral arrangements? Her granddaughter, who was at the house, was nowhere near this accident? Or you, who had just taken care of your own chore, dropping off your own bag, in your own house at 4 o'clock in the morning? Who do you think should be responsible? Or Bird, who was home in his house sleeping at 4 o'clock in the morning? You think about that, not you.
First, I'm telling you, I did not take responsibility for the car from the beginning. I told her that before I left. I didn't need you can laugh about it.
Let me ask you a question, sir.
It might be funny, but I mean it's not.
No,
really.
it's not. You're not funny. I want to tell you something. You're not funny. How many times has your license been suspended?
Once.
How did I know that?
How'd you know that?
Yeah, how did I know that?
Probably because they looked up my license and brought you papers and did that Shamil?
Really?
I mean,
Just a second. Just a second. Is that what you think? You think that they looked up your record and they brought me papers?
Well, I'm sure, possibly. I mean,
No, I'm telling you, sir, that's not how I know that your driver's license had been suspended at age 21.
Then you tell
At
me.
least once.
You let me know.
How did I know?
I don't.
Because I'm smart.
That's
it. You want to know something? Even Bird knew your license had been suspended at least once. You want to know why?
Why is that?
Because he's smart. The only one who just don't get it is you. When you destroy somebody's property, you have to pay for it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,012.
Bemisdorfer versus Bennett. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Miss Bemisdorfer?
Yes.
According to your complaint, you and the defendant lived together for approximately 5 years. And you have children who were also living with you. Is that right?
Yes.
I believe that the thrust of your complaint is that there came a time that Miss Bennett had you arrested for domestic violence.
Yes.
Those charges were subsequently dropped, and you want to be reimbursed for your legal fees.
Correct.
And in addition, you claim that during the time that you were either incarcerated or at the police station, she damaged one of your cars.
Correct.
Those are the two things that you're suing her for.
Correct.
So tell me, on what date did this incident occur that caused you to be arrested?
May 27th, 1999, at 1:50 a.m.
Tell me the circumstances surrounding the police being called to the house.
I went to work in the morning time, and I decided I wanted to move out, that I wanted to end the relationship. I called her up at lunchtime. I called her mother. I went to my house at lunchtime. Her mother came there. Her mother said that she can go live with her mother because I was the one paying the rent. She was not working. I was paying all the bills. She said she didn't want to leave. Her daughter didn't want to leave the house. Her mother said, all right, then Linda, you live there. I'll help you pay the rent. So I said, okay, then I'm moving out.
Okay, hold on. Let's go slowly. Is it true, Miss Bennett, that during the time that you were living together with the plaintiff and your children, that she was paying the rent on the house where you were living?
We shared the bills. We shared.
Were you working?
Yes, I was. I was working at a hospital. Yes. Part-time. It was part-time. Part-time on and off.
Were the majority of the bills being paid by the plaintiff?
No, they were split.
Evenly?
Yes.
Okay. Then what happened?
So then I went back to work, and I told him when I get home from work, I'm moving my stuff out. I came home, I went to a friend's house and started making a room for me to live. I was going to live in a room. So I got home around 1:50 in the morning, and she opened the door for me. The door was locked, and my TV was gone. All the pictures on my walls were gone. Everything was gone. So then, after that, I went in the house and saw that. I ran up to my bedroom where I keep my jewelry and money and stuff like that, and but she was in there with the door locked. So I kicked the door in to see what was gone. And then she called 911 and said I hit her and had a restraining order on me.
When you kicked the door in, she was in the bedroom?
She was in the bed.
And what happened after you kicked the door in?
She called 911.
Before there was any further confrontation between
No, I
the
said,
two
where's
of you?
my stuff? What did you do with all my things?
Okay, and what did she say?
Get out.
And what did you say?
Give me my stuff.
And what did she say?
She called 911 and I went outside and stood by my car waiting for the police to come.
So you were actually in the bedroom when she called the police?
Yes.
Okay, Miss Bennett. Now, had you in fact taken out any of those items? Pictures, TV, or whatever, any other items?
No.
No. Had you taken out anything from the living area, Miss Bennett? Make sure you tell me the truth, please.
There was, I don't remember, I can't remember what at that time.
Okay, so you can't remember.
No, it's
then
not,
she came
there
upstairs.
There were things in the house that were mine. There was a TV in there, there was the furniture that was in there, there were pictures that were in there, okay? The TV was mine.
So what did you do with the TV?
No, wait, I did remove the TV.
So what did you do with the TV?
It went to my daughter's house.
Okay, so the TV went out.
Right.
And some pictures went out.
There was one picture that went out. There was one.
So now you remember. So the TV and one picture went out.
And that was the extent of it. That was it.
What did you do with her things that were in the bedroom?
Oh, they were there. Everything was there. Everything. Her clothes were there. She didn't have hardly any jewelry.
So did she knock at the door of the bedroom?
I don't remember if she knocked on the door. She did. She said, "Let me in. I want to come in." She was drunk. And I've had past experiences where I've been afraid of her. So I kept me and Gina, my daughter, in the room, and we stayed in the bed. And she did say, "I want to come in." And I said, "No, I was afraid." So my daughter was laying there with me saying, "Mommy, don't let her in." I said, "Okay, I won't let her in." All of a sudden, she goes to bust down the door. She's banging at the door. She comes in. I went to pick up the phone to call 911. She came over to the phone, ripped the phone out of the wall. I got up. I ran down the steps to use the kitchen phone. She ripped that phone out of the wall, backed me up into the dining room, and said to me, "Where is my stuff?" And
what did you say to her?
I don't remember exactly what I had said. She punched me right in the face, square in the face, on the left-hand side. I must have hit 911 because the cops did come. My daughter's standing on the steps of the landing, going from upstairs to downstairs. I screamed to her. I said, "Gina, go next door, call 911," because I didn't think I hit 911. I said, "No, I don't want to leave you. I don't want to leave your side." And I said, "Go next door." But I did hit 911. The cops did come. And she did. She waited outside. She was drunk. Waited outside by her car.
Okay, let me see the police report, please. Thank you, Bert. Did you pull the phones off the wall?
Yes, I did.
Okay, because that's what the officer said. You left that out.
Yes, I did. Because I didn't want her to call 911. I wasn't trying to hurt her. I just wanted my things.
That's not one phone. Two phones you pulled off the wall. One upstairs in the bedroom, one downstairs.
Correct.
Now, let me hear about this car, because that's the second.
Okay, I had, on May 27th, the police came, like I said, at 1:50, and they would not let me back to my home.
Had you been drinking?
Yes, I was moving some things out of a person's bedroom so I could make room for myself, and we were drinking.
So you had been drinking?
A couple beers.
Okay.
I had some beers.
Okay. Go ahead.
And so they came to the house at 1:50 in the morning, and they would not let me back at my house that night to get my car. I have a
you couldn't drive anyway. You had been drinking.
I have a 91 Camaro, and I have an 88 Corvette. The 91 Camaro she drove, and I drove the Corvette. I came back to pick up my cars with some friends of mine at 7:30 in the morning on my way to work, and my Corvette was totally scratched and 5 pounds of sugar in a gas tank.
Did you notify the police that someone had vandalized?
I called the Berlin Township Police. That's not where we live, and they said if you didn't see or do it, there's no sense in us writing a report. But I mean, it was fine at 1:50 when I left it. 7:30 in the morning it was total.
When had you last driven it?
I drove it right there to the house.
You mean you drove the car after you had been drinking?
Right.
Not smart.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I want to tell you something. I believe you.
She's making up everything.
Listen to me. I believe you. I do.
Okay. I have a...
Shh.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Patricia Bemisdorfer says ex-girlfriend Linda Bennett had her falsely arrested and put 5 pounds of sugar in the gas tank of her Corvette.
Did you do anything to her car?
I didn't touch that girl's car. And the thing, you know... There's police at the house.
Shh, just a minute. Go ahead.
The thing is that in the morning, she came and she drove that car away. She's saying somebody vandalized that car during that time period. She drove it away. We had a car, we had a 91 Camaro, it was in her name. That was a gift to me. It was in her name, that was a gift to me. She let me use that car. She did take it away that morning. Her and her niece came and did take the car away. They both, her niece drove the Camaro away, she drove the Corvette away. Okay, that's another thing, she drove it away.
When did the car break down?
After I went to lunch, take sugar a little while to get through the engine of the car. It doesn't break down. It was 7:30 in the morning. I couldn't see the scratches. I went to lunch, and on my way back to work from lunch, it broke down. The car would not run. I had to have AAA tow it to the garage, and they said there was 5 pounds of sugar in it. Not even 2 pounds, 5 pounds. And the white car I let her use after we broke up. I still let her use the Camaro because I felt bad because she has a child.
and I get a warrant for my arrest because she has a parking ticket in my name and everything, told me about it and never paid it. So I went and took the white car back from her just 2 or 3 months ago. That I still, even after she did this to me, I still let her use my white car because I have the vet, and then I get warrants for my arrest. The ticket was a parking ticket in Camden. She called me at my job telling me she had a warrant. I immediately went to Camden and paid the ticket. I paid the ticket.
So she did let you keep one of the cars?
Yeah, she let me. Yeah, that's what, it was a gift to me.
It's a gift to you, but it was in her name. You don't make a gift to somebody and keep it in your name. She still let you use the car even after all of this stuff happened.
Oh, yeah. And she, until March 19th, she did come at 6 o'clock in the morning and take the car. Yes, she did.
Can you tell me what happened with the restraining order in the assault case that was filed?
What happened?
Yeah.
I placed a restraining order again. I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't. And then I thought about my daughter. She was crying. She was at the police station with me, sitting here right next to me. I don't want her to come back. The cops were saying if she don't put a restraining order, she can come back, do whatever she has to do or wants to do. So I said, okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. And then she did stay away from me for a couple of days, and then we started to talk, going back and forth, talking to each other, being civil. And yes, I did drop it because I thought I did.
Okay.
I did drop it. Can I make a comment?
Yes.
If she's so afraid, if I had a 6-year-old child and I knew my child, you're so afraid of me, I would have moved out a long time ago. There was never a complaint. I've never touched her, and I didn't touch her that day. If you're so fearful of me, you should have moved out a long time ago if I'm so mean to you.
Don't talk to her.
I never laid my hands on her.
Let's eliminate from this mix the punch in the face. Okay? Let's eliminate that. You came home at 1:30 in the morning. You had been drinking. You came into your house and you found a television missing and at least one picture missing. And you had been living together as a family for 5 years, right?
Right.
So you were angry. You went up to the bedroom where all your stuff was. Clothes, jewelry, personal effects, everything else. You can understand her coming in and being a little miffed that the home that you had shared together was, being taken apart without her permission. And she had all of her valuables in the room. That doesn't give you license to bust down the door. And it certainly doesn't give you license to pull the phones out of the walls, because that in itself, even without the punch, is sufficient basis for her to have called the police and say, there is potential violence going on here. So I think that there was a basis for her to call the police. And the fact that you retained an attorney within a relatively short period of time, I see, because she ultimately dropped the charges at the beginning of June?
She dropped the charges at the trial. She dismissed the charges after making us sit in the courthouse for 5 hours because she thought I was paying my lawyer by the hour and wanted me to sit there as long as I could.
Okay. She had a basis for calling the police. It was not done out of malice. It was done out of the heat of the moment, so that I cannot give you money to reimburse you for attorney's fees. You lost your temper. You lost your cool at that moment, and maybe it was the beers talking, but you certainly lost it. And having lost it, she reacted by calling the police, which is probably the wise thing to do. The fact that she ultimately dismissed the charges doesn't mean she didn't have a basis at the time that she made the call to have made the call. Now let's talk about the Corvette. The police told you that they couldn't take the report because you needed more than what you had to legally point the finger at the defendant for damaging your car. While the burden of proof in a criminal case is far greater than in a civil case, you still need some connection. And the only connection that you have is that she was very angry and your car was there during that period of time.
5 hour time.
It's an insufficient nexus for me to find that she in fact did it. That's not saying you didn't do it. I'm just telling you. That's not saying you didn't do it because you were angry.
I have a witness to say that I didn't.
Oh, I'd like to hear that. That would be nice. It would make me feel better. Let me hear your witness.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your Honor, I asked her what a relationship is. She didn't even know this man. She never even knew him. 6 years I lived with her, I never even met this man. That's her boyfriend now, and it's a lie.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Patricia Benesdorfer says ex-girlfriend Linda Bennett had her falsely arrested and put 5 pounds of sugar in the gas tank of her Corvette.
Who are you?
My name's Jeff. I was a friend of hers.
Were you there that evening?
I was there after.
After
she
what?
had called me after all this went had happened.
Approximately what time?
I guess it was around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. And did you go over to her house?
Yes, I did.
What happened when you got there?
She was just crying, upset. I just tried to comfort her, let her know that everything would be okay. And I stayed downstairs. She didn't even leave the upstairs. So I don't know how she would have been able to tamper with the car.
Your Honor, I asked her what her relationship is. She didn't even know this man at the time. That's her boyfriend now. She never even knew him. 6 years I lived with her. I never even met this man. That's her boyfriend now. It's a lie.
Well,
we never knew that gentleman. She didn't call him. She never even heard of his name in his life till after she just met him a couple months ago. And they live in my home together now.
We were friends. I'd known her for about 3-4 months.
Okay. But there was still a period of time where she had an opportunity before you got there, if she wanted to put sugar in this gas tank.
I suppose.
She understands that. As I said, I don't know whether you did it or you didn't do it, but I know that the plaintiff, unfortunately, needs more than just the opportunity and inclination that you had to prove a case in court. Have you had nothing to do with each other in the last year?
No, Your Honor, I do. She still will not give me anything I own. All my personal things, it still will not give me.
But you're not suing for any of those things.
Correct.
So I know that you're very angry, so let's see if we can perhaps resolve this relationship and finally put a period to it. Okay, what else do you have there?
I have gym equipment, about $1,500 worth of gym equipment that I never was able to have.
Okay.
I have
Shh. Do you have her gym equipment?
It's my gym equipment. It's Your Honor, it's mine.
It was a gift.
Just a second. Shh. Who purchased it? Who bought it? Who spent the money for it?
I did.
Did you, in fact, buy it for her?
No.
You bought it for you?
It's mine. I bought it.
Well, that's what you said.
Yes.
You bought it for you?
For myself.
It was my Christmas present from her to me.
I want to tell you something. I believe you.
She's making up everything.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I believe you. I do.
Okay. I have a...
Shh. What else does she have there that...
She has boxes of my personal things. I have a sister that died in a car accident with a hairbrush in her hair, and I can't even have that. My dad's wild's deceased. She won't give me that. I mean, just personal boxes of all kind of stuff. I have a swimming pool there.
What kind of swimming pool?
It's a above ground 12-foot by 36-foot swimming pool.
What are you going to do with it?
Put it in my friend's yard where I live now. It's mine. She's saying she paid half of everything. Make her show you her W-2s.
I'm not... Listen, you're not suing for these things, madam, so what I'm trying to do is make you feel more comfortable, if I can, before you leave. So let me tell you something. I only believe a portion of what you tell me, Miss Bennett.
Okay.
So you would be very, very wise if you want to get on with your life and not have this lady permanently feeling angry that you have not done the right thing. When she, it seems to me, has, at least in part. She let you use a car. You needed it for your daughter to take her to school, even after you had her arrested. She didn't come and take the car until she got a warrant. So she's not a bad person. Right. So she wants certain things from the house.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Now, do you have boxes of her things?
There isn't anything there. When she took everything out of the home, when I walked, I had left the home for 3 or 4 hours. When I walked into the home, I was left with a love seat. That's all I had.
The problem was, Your Honor, we were going to try to get back together. I had another place. We were going to work things out, try to get back together. I just needed the living room set to sit on, so I left my other stuff there.
Okay, well, clearly that didn't happen.
It didn't happen, and after she found out it wasn't going to happen because I met this girl and I moved in with her, she decided she's not giving me anything now.
Put a period. It's over.
And she has everything I ever worked for and ever owned.
Unfortunately, A, your lawsuit sought redress for 2 things. For your lawyer's fees and for damage done to the Corvette, not for all these other things. So I was merely addressing those things in an attempt to make things nice so that you could move on. I see I can't. She had just cause, as I indicated, to call the police. That part of your lawsuit has to be dismissed, and there is insufficient proof, even though I have my reservations about it, but there is insufficient legal proof that she actually caused damage to your car, so your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. The matter of Zust versus Herndon. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats.
Mr. Zust, you and the defendant are neighbors.
Yes, Your Honor.
Next-door neighbors.
Correct.
Your complaint is that the Herndons have dogs. How many dogs do they have?
2 dogs.
What kind of dogs are they?
I am not sure.
How big?
About 6 60 pounds maybe.
Each.
Each.
Your complaint is that for the last 2.5 years, the dogs have impeded your ability to enjoy your home. You can't sleep at night because they're constantly barking.
Sure.
And this has been the subject of constant stress between the two of you, that the Herndons have received citations for the dogs barking, but it hasn't helped. And finally, as a last resort, you filed this small claims case for harassment. Correct?
Sure.
And I understand from reading your papers that you have a video.
Yes, I do.
To show me.
Yes, I do.
I'd
It's
like
right
to
here. And over here is my family room. And here's my kitchen, which are all right next to my neighbor's barking dogs, of which are fenced in that small area right there. And you can see where I had to board up the window with soundboard. And over here is where my neighbor keeps his barking dogs all day and all night. And as you can see, it's very small, dirty, and muddy, and caged in. And there's 2 dogs back there. But my neighbor has this huge backyard over here. But he doesn't want them back there. I don't know why, but perhaps it might keep him up. These are some times that they've been barking, day and night. 4 a.m., you see right here.
I see, sir. Tenacious little sucker.
Yes, they are.
So?
Your Honor, in our defense, our dogs don't bark where they are a nuisance. They are dogs, they will bark. They too have big dogs that weigh probably 80 pounds each that bark.
At night?
At different hours of the
At
day.
night?
At night, sometimes yes. When they let them out to eat, to do whatever they have to do.
Are your dogs out all the time?
They're outside dogs, yes.
Okay.
And we have designated their area to keep them out of the rest of our yard because that's where our kids play. We have 2 little girls, and the other side of our house is all cement, and it's not even half the size of where they are kept now.
Let me tell you, because I believe in being honest, you're starting from a very poor position with me today. Because for the last 2 nights, when I got into bed early, about 9 o'clock, because I get up very early to come into court, and there was a barking dog outside. It's a residential area. Couldn't tell where the dog was coming from, where the noise was coming from, because it's pretty dense, and I couldn't see that far down, see where the dog was coming from. But it, for sure, not only annoyed me, but annoyed hundreds of other people, because it was quiet, except for, that muted sound of cars traveling, perhaps, and piercing the silent night air was the sound of this dog, single dog, barking. And it would stop for a couple of minutes, and I would try to fall asleep fast before it started again. And then you can't fall asleep because you're trying to fall asleep quickly. Do you understand? You finally, because you think if you fall asleep, then you won't hear it bark. We understanding each other?
Oh, very well.
Right? So then you can't fall asleep at all because you're waiting and anticipating the sound of that dog starting to bark again. And I try to prepare for my cases. I had read these cases before I come to work, and I said, I must tell the Herndons when they come that they do not get a judge with a blank slate. You get a judge with a history. Unfortunately for you, my history was the last 2 nights I didn't sleep because of a barking dog. And I said to myself, these people who have that dog are really outrageous. They're outrageous because what they could do is at night take their dogs inside because it may not bother them. They have probably become numb to the sound of the dogs barking, but the rest of the community has not become numb to the sound of the dogs barking. So I said to myself, why don't these people take their dogs that are getting excited because somebody may walk by, they may hear a sound someplace, and bring them into the house where they won't bark? And I ask you the same question. Why don't you bring your dogs inside at night?
Because they're outside dogs, Your Honor.
Tough!
That's
tough.
I have a petition from all our neighbors around us that have signed it that say our dogs are not a nuisance to
Let
them.
me tell you something. Your dogs are right near his window. You've chosen to put your dogs at a place that's convenient for you, so that it's not where your children play in the backyard, so they're not going to step all over mess. It's not on the other side where it's too narrow. It's right near his window. So your other neighbors might not be as offended as he is or his family is by this noise, but he is. You don't have a right to do that. That's unreasonable.
My dogs don't bark the way he has made it out to be.
They don't have to bark all the time, madam. You could be fast asleep, and at midnight, if your dogs are outside and you see a cat running by, they start to bark. That wakes you up. What are you pointing at, sir?
Our dog run, which she had flooded out on several different occasions, and we have to feel that it's on purpose.
So what?
It's flooded with 2 inches of water.
So what?
That's not right.
Let me ask you this question, sir. How long have they been asking you to take your dogs in at night?
They never asked us to take our dogs in at night. We don't talk to them.
You mean even before this started? Even before this nasty stuff started?
Your Honor, that video he just showed, my dogs were rambunctious because somebody was aiming at them over the fence with a video camera.
No, sir. Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm smarter than you are. Your dogs were rambunctious because they wanted to get from their caged-in area into the main backyard. Your dog was digging under the fence, and if your dog...
No.
I'm speaking. Don't shake your head and don't speak. If your dog was agitated because somebody was videotaping them, they would have been up barking at the fence where the video camera was pointing. They wouldn't have been digging under the fence to get into the backyard.
Looks like they were trying to get away from him to me.
You hear that, sir? They said, oh, please.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
We didn't want her coming into our house and telling us what to do with our dogs.
Big Mouth over here threw her out. After that, it got nasty.
And later today,
They wouldn't agree. She wasn't going to pay for most of it. I was going to help her out a little bit.
That was very stupid of you just to say so.
Why?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. College student Ken Zust says next-door neighbors Jerry and Maria Herndon won't do anything about their barking dogs.
When was the first time that either you or any member of your family spoke to the Herndons about the noise?
On January of '98, my mom went over.
Is she here today?
Them. Yeah, she's right here.
Could you step up, please?
And
just a minute, she'll tell me. What is your last name?
My last name is Zust.
Yes.
And I went over and knocked on their door, and they let me in the house. And I explained to them the situation, that it's our living area. They have no windows in their area. And could they please do something about the dogs? Mr. Herndon overheard it from the back of his house. He came out and he said, he kind of threw me out of the house using some swear words.
You can tell me what he said. You can tell me what he said, Zust.
This is, get the hell out of my house. So.
Was that the first conversation that you had with them?
Over the dog incident, yes.
How long had they had the dogs?
I'm guessing about 2.5 years.
Did this conversation that you had in 1998, was that when they first got the dogs?
Yes, about then.
Okay.
And they were puppies and they were really barking. And it's right under our living area and plus my son's room. So I tried the nice way first.
How long had you been neighbors?
Well, they used to live in another part of the cul-de-sac and then moved in next door to us.
When? Do you remember what year?
I don't know exactly.
But it was well before this?
About 6 months prior.
Okay. And you had no negative interaction with them before?
Not really, no.
Not before the dogs?
No.
Okay, so there was no reason for him to throw you out of the house?
No. I came over with it, hopefully that we could resolve it as neighbors.
Okay, and you were speaking to his wife?
Yes. And
you remember that?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
She came over and asked, and she didn't say that that's where their living quarters were. She said her husband was not comfortable with our arrangements to keep our dogs where we did.
Yes.
And we told her that that was the only proper place for us to keep our dogs.
Is that what your husband said to her?
We said...
Just a second, not we.
Yes.
What did your husband say to her?
He came out and told her to get out, that we didn't want her coming into our house and telling us what to do with our dogs.
He's got a real hot temper.
No, her son has a hot temper.
No. His son, she came in. His son wasn't with her.
Her son has threatened our lives.
Listen to me. When she came over for the first time to discuss this problem with you, was the first time that the problem was broached between two neighbors. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Correct.
And it was at that time that Big Mouth over here threw her out. After that, it got nasty. After that, it got nasty. But she came over to your house. She didn't send you a lawyer's letter. She didn't send her son over. She's certainly a much older woman than you are. Perhaps that's why she came over rather than sending over one of her sons, because she thought maybe if she went over there, it would be more peaceful. Right?
Well, I don't understand where she wanted us to keep our dogs.
In the house at
They
night.
are not house dogs.
The house is not
They're
a kennel,
not
Your
house
Honor.
dogs. The house is not a kennel.
Maybe
Maybe theirs
Mr.
is.
Zust, Mr. Zust, let me explain something to you, right? Dumb as the day is long, right? You are not going to change it. The only thing that I can do is to make a statement for you. I see that you have been harassed and that you have tried to handle this problem reasonably with them. Now, you say that they have been cited at least once and gotten a ticket.
Yes.
Has anything happened as a result of that ticket?
Well, after that, I filed several barking dog
complaints.
Right, and nothing has happened because we were scared to pursue this because of his threats made against my family.
Which were when?
What difference does it make?
Well,
There was no threats.
There
We
was
got
no
a police
threats.
record right here
several
showing that he
threats.
threatened
There
my
was never
life.
any threats against his family.
Vice versa.
We do everything
He's
to
a big guy.
avoid
He's
them.
twice my
If
size.
you did everything to avoid them, you'd bring your dogs inside at night.
Our house is not a kennel.
This is not about
We don't
dogs.
Yeah, my
keep our
house is
dogs
not a
in
kennel
the house.
either. I have a dog. I bring
Your
it
Honor,
inside at night.
This is not about dogs. This is a personal vendetta it turned into.
He has,
Oh, dear,
he has
Mr.
threatened
Mr.
our
Herndon,
lives. We have a police record that shows that they came out one day that he pulled up into our driveway with his two younger brothers,
Not true.
one of which is there. He
And?
came up and he started verbally abusing my husband in front of my 5-year-old daughter.
Let me tell you something, Miss Herndon.
If that's acceptable...
I want to tell you something. That is not acceptable conduct. What is totally unacceptable is your reaction to me when I said bring your dogs in the house if you have dogs.
My house is
and
not
if
a
your,
kennel.
Your house is not a kennel?
That's right.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount requested,
Fine with me.
$3,500. That's all.
He's angry. He's got a miserable life. He's 23 years old and he still lives at home with his mom.
These dogs have wrecked my life for 2 years. I mean, I work full-time, I go to school full-time, and I can't sleep and I can't study, and it's great that she took my side.
And now the next case.
All parties on Fleming versus Sneed. Step forward, please.
21-year-old student Latasha Fleming is suing ex-fiancé, 25-year-old plant assembler Shelton Sneed for his share of a wedding that never happened.
Miss Fleming, you and the defendant were engaged. According to what I've read, the date was changed at least once because the defendant said he wasn't quite ready or whatever. But ultimately, he canceled the wedding, broke the engagement.
Right.
And you want to be reimbursed for all the, at least half of the expenses that you made towards the wedding, right?
Yes.
When did you become engaged?
November of '98.
And when did he cancel the wedding?
May 2000.
And when were you supposed to be married?
September, well, the first time April 22nd, the second time September the 2nd.
September of 2000.
Right.
No chance of that coming about?
No.
Okay. Who was making the wedding?
Me, I was.
And that was your agreement?
Right.
That you were going to pay for the wedding?
Right, most of it.
Okay. Well,
Man, it wasn't agreeing. She wasn't gonna pay for most of it. I was gonna help her out a little bit.
That was very stupid of you just to say so.
Why?
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How much did you pay for the ring?
I forgot. It's a whole lot of money.
whole lot.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Latasha Fleming says ex-fiancé Shelton Sneed owes her for half of what she spent on a wedding. Shelton says he told Latasha he'd give her a couple of dollars.
Let me explain this to you, Mr. Sneed, and try to make it as simple as possible, sir. In order for her to be successful in this lawsuit, she has to establish that there was an agreement between the two of you that the wedding would be paid for jointly, that each of you would contribute towards the wedding. If that was not the case, then you would have no liability. She just said that your agreement was that she was supposed to pay for the wedding. And then you sort of volunteered, no, that's not true.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
I mean...
So why don't you tell me? All right, let's go to you, Mr. Sneed. I thought this was going to be a very easy case. Maybe it'll be more difficult. What was your agreement, that you were going to share the expenses for the wedding?
No, I was going to give her a couple of dollars.
How much is a couple of dollars?
Like $200 or $300. That was it.
And you had that agreement with her that you were going to give her $200 or $300?
No, I ain't tell her I was going to give her $200 or $300. I told her I was going to give her a little bit of money.
Did he just make that up?
No, he told me he would help me when he could.
Well, that's not a contract, Miss Fleming. That is not an agreement. Did he give you an engagement ring?
Yes.
Do you still have it?
Yes.
You do? Ooh. Is it a nice ring?
Yes.
You wearing it?
No.
Is it a diamond ring?
Yes.
Why don't you sell it? He's not asking for it back.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Perfect. How much did you pay for the ring?
I forgot. It's a whole lot of money.
A whole lot?
Yeah.
Give me a round figure, sir.
I don't remember. I don't put a price on stuff like that, so I just did it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Miss Fleming, going to make this as simple as possible for you, madam. $3,000 is what you're suing for. I assume that you made expenditures in the amount of $6,000.
Correct.
You did?
Yes.
You think the ring is worth $3,000?
Yes.
So sell the ring. You're not asking for it back, Mr. Sneed, are you?
Yeah, I want it back, no.
Now was your chance. You didn't file a counterclaim for the ring, sir.
Oh, okay.
Sell the ring. Pay off the wedding bills. Miss Fleming. You're very lucky.
McQueen versus McQueen. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. McQueen, this is your son.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is your wife.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you are not his mother.
No, I'm not.
According to your complaint, you received a telephone call from the defendant, from jail.
Yes, ma'am.
And he told you that he was incarcerated and wanted to be bailed out.
Yes, ma'am.
You said, I have to wait till your father gets home.
Yes, ma'am.
What did you do when you came home and your wife told you that your son was incarcerated?
We had several checks at the house that we'd received from. I had surgery in July, and they amounted to. There was money we were going to use for our house insurance, and his bail was $1,000. So we discussed it. He has quite a good job, so we weren't too worried about him paying us back. She had talked with him, and he told her where to go to bail him out, and we went to the bank and went down to the jail, and we paid it.
Mrs. McQueen, what did the defendant say to you and you say to him during the conversation?
He called and I answered, and he said, "Is Dad there?" I said, "No, he hasn't come home from work." He says, "I'm in trouble." I said, "What's the matter?" He says, "I'm in jail." And I said, "A DWI?" He said, "Yes." And I said, "How much?" He said, $1,000 to get me out.
When was the next time you saw your son?
Well, when I paid the $1,000, the first thing the officer informed me of, if I wanted to get my money back, I would have to initial off, but I would have to seek it through him. Then the officer brought him out, and he came outside to us through the locked doors. And when he got out, he didn't look in very good shape.
Have you bailed him out before?
No.
Has he been arrested before for DWI?
Not for DWI, no. He was arrested when he was 7 years old.
No, I'm talking about for DWI. Your wife seemed to question him immediately and said to him, for DWI. What made you think it was a DWI?
Because we had talked not
maybe a couple of days ago before that and said, if you ever get a collect call from Jason, it's probably because he's in jail for drinking.
He's had a drinking problem?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Go ahead, sir.
And when he got out, he wasn't in good shape, and I said, where's your car? And he said they impounded it. And I said, well, how much is it going to be to get out? And I forget the exact amount. It was over $70. I handed him 4 20s, and I asked him, what happened with you? And he said he was playing pool, and the officer had arrested him, and that he had taken the breathalyzer, and he'd blown a 223. When we got his car, he asked me to drive him home because his license was pulled. And so then his car was empty on gas, so I gave him another 20, and I told him, that's $1,100 you owe me now.
And what did he say?
He didn't say anything, he just nodded his head. That Friday, he came and spent the night, and he talked with Linda that night and told her that he thought he wouldn't be able to pay it back or wouldn't pay it back. So she told me that the next morning, and I called him and talked to him, and he said, well, Dad, you know, it's your duty. He's 28.
Just a minute. Okay, Mr. McQueen, let's hear it, sir.
What do you want to know, Your Honor? I did get arrested, was in jail. I called my stepmother the previous night and told her I was in jail and stuff. I didn't know if she could do anything or whatnot. And
what did you call her to do for you?
I just called her to let her know where I was. She might expect me home or something, wonder where I was, Dad didn't want her wondering.
You didn't tell her how much it would cost to get you out of jail?
I said, yeah, I'm in jail. They got me for DWI last night, and they said it was going to be $1,000, and she said, well, your dad gets home in an hour, we'll be there. Yeah, I've never been in jail before, Your Honor. It wasn't a very interesting experience.
Well, a very unpleasant experience. You're 28 years old, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
I fix computers for Sprint.
How long have you had that job?
About 5 years now.
What's your annual salary?
Believe it's currently at $44,000.
$44,000?
Yes, ma'am.
What other financial obligations do you have, Mr. McQueen?
Car.
What kind of car do you drive?
2000 Civic.
What other financial obligations do you have?
Insurance, phone, the usual things, Your Honor.
Right.
It's completely unrelated to this case, I guess, but I recently just kind of lost my head. I mean, it's a lot of the reasons that I was in the situation I was when I got here with the police and the drinking and all that. And I recently started trying to pull myself back out. And I've worked it out, you know, with my car company because I'm like 3 months behind on just about everything. And
Mr. McQueen, sounds to me
he knows
as if,
this.
Just a minute, but it sounds to me, sir, if you earn $44,000 a year and you're unmarried and you were living at home?
I'm paying rent to my mother.
Paying a modest rent. And you don't have any children?
No, ma'am.
So that something else, in addition to alcohol, has been happening in your life recently.
Recently, I just broke up with my girlfriend and on the antidepressants, the whole kit and caboodle.
Okay. Did you stop drinking?
Since then?
Yeah.
I've stopped doing anything where I get in the car afterwards.
Have you stopped drinking?
No, ma'am.
It's probably a mistake.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
My lawyer doesn't really seem to think I've got much hope.
Clearly, your son is having a difficult time.
He copped an attitude.
You can't cop an attitude. You're supposed to say thank you.
And later today,
Nowhere did you write gift here.
Well, he said, don't worry about the $800. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And then I said, so you're saying that's a gift? And he said, yes.
Are you kidding me or what?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Patrick McQueen says his son Jason McQueen owes him for bailing him out of jail and car impound fees.
You sound like a nice young man who's having a bad time. This was your first arrest, sir, since you were 7?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've held the same job for 5 years, which means that he's really not a bum.
No.
Right?
No.
Right. Can you not believe you're standing here?
It was a month ago, Your Honor. It was the 6th. That was the day I got arrested.
Well, what happens, Mr. McQueen, is when you say, there's no way I can pay you back, that makes them angry. Do you understand? I don't know whether I would have, as a parent, Mr. McQueen, pursued this matter as expeditiously as you did, because clearly your son is having a difficult time.
No offense, Your Honor. I've had quite enough police around me. Didn't need any more.
Okay. All right.
You copped an attitude.
You can't cop an attitude. You're supposed to say thank you. You know, thank you, and I can't pay you back right now, but I'll pay you back in increments. You know, I don't want you to be out $1,000 for my stupidity.
My lawyers even got me paying him back like every paycheck.
Well, there's nothing much you can do, sir, on a 2 reading. Has that case come to court yet?
No, ma'am. It's a 2-3.
Shh. Did you tell your attorney in the criminal matter that you planned on appearing in civil court today?
Yes, ma'am.
Did your attorney suggest to you that that was not a good idea?
No, ma'am.
Get another attorney.
Can I inquire as to why?
Because had I known that there was a criminal action still pending for driving while intoxicated against you, I would not have asked you questions surrounding that incident, including the fact that you do in fact have an alcohol problem. That does not enhance your position in the criminal case, sir.
No offense, Your Honor, but my lawyer doesn't really seem to think I've got much hope other than throwing myself on
the court's mercy.
The court's mercy.
Well, that's fine. Then I don't know what you need a lawyer for, sir. If you're going to plead guilty, what are you paying the lawyer for? Then the lawyer's doing nothing for you. Your father at least bailed you out of jail, right?
I guess you're right.
You could have stayed in jail.
The cost of a 5-year job, Your Honor.
Absolutely. So it was a good thing that your dad helped you out. And the fact that you're having financial trouble on $44,000 a year income and not any major responsibilities suggests to me that you either have a gambling problem, or you have a gambling and a drug problem, or you have some other place where that money is going, because it sure is not going to pay your car, which you say you're behind 3 months on, or your insurance. So there's something else going on with your life. He wants his money back. You think it's right that he gets it back?
I think if it was my kid, I'd like to do everything I could. And if he wasn't, like, able to pay me back, then he wasn't able to pay me back.
But you are able, sir. You're just prioritizing. You're just prioritizing.
He's heard my accounts. He knows they're like toast.
That's because your money is going someplace else.
Back and forth to work, paying a car payment every paycheck. I'm, like, really behind, Your Honor.
You may be really behind, sir, but there are families of 4 and 5 that live on $44,000 a year and are not paying a couple of bucks rent to their mama. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000, that's all.
Oh, ma'am, there was the...
I understand, sir. You want the impound fee and the $20 for gas. You're very lucky you're getting the $1,000. I'm going to tell you why you're getting this judgment, because I'm going to find that by nodding to you in acceptance when you gave him the money, there was a tacit agreement that he would pay you back. But at the time you paid this money, Mr. McQueen, you did not have an agreement with him that this was a loan. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm finding that based upon his acquiescence to the loan subsequently, even though he wasn't in such good shape, that you are entitled to your money back.
Thank you.
Don't push me. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Time he's got some responsibility and has got a handle on his life.
I'm working on it. I have been working on it. He knows I've been working on it. It just doesn't come instantly. There you go. You're going to get a kiss on each cheek, too?
And now the next case.
All parties are on Martinez versus Ortiz. Step forward.
32-year-old store manager Jimmy Martinez is suing his ex-fiancée, 25-year-old hotel assistant GM Veronica Ortiz, for a deposit on a car. Veronica is countersuing for furniture and an apartment deposit.
All right, in this case, the chronology is very important. Mr. Martinez, according to your complaint, you and the defendant lived together for about 3 years?
4 years, ma'am.
And that living together arrangement ended when, sir?
Approximately mid-November, last year, 99.
And according to your complaint, that was a rather amicable split. You remained friends.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Sometime the following month, the defendant contacted you because she wanted to purchase a car. And you agreed to go with her to the dealership. And you went to the dealership, and she didn't have enough money for the down payment. What I can piece together is the car salesman said to you, well, give me a check to hold the car.
Yes, ma'am.
A check for $800.
Yes.
And the agreement was that the salesman would not cash this check, but would wait for you to come up with the remainder of the balance. Now, according to you, Mr. Martinez, what happened was you started getting your bank statements months later, and you had checks bouncing all over the place because this check got cashed.
Yes, ma'am.
So you want your $800.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have an interesting defense and counterclaim.
Correct.
Now I'll hear you.
Well, the $800 was initially not supposed to be cashed, and I understand that. But for some reason it did, and I agreed to him that I'm sorry that that happened. Then at that time, he decided that he said, don't worry about the $800 due to the fact that just don't worry about it, don't worry about it. And then I said, so you're saying that's a gift? And he said, yes.
Are you kidding me or what?
No, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
His intention, Your Honor, was to get me to move back with him. That's the truth, Your Honor.
Madam, I don't think you'd know the truth that came up and bit you in the nose.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jimmy Martinez says ex-fiancée Veronica Ortiz owes him for a deposit on a car. Veronica says Jimmy is the one who owes.
So now you're telling me under oath that he told you forget about the $800. It was a gift.
Correct.
So let me read to you what you wrote in your answer. He has a lot of nerve taking me to court. You say we were engaged, making wedding plans. Who cares about that? Finally, in September of 1999, I had enough of his mental and physical abuse. He kicked me out, but wouldn't let me move all of my stuff out. So first today, you tell me that this was an amicable break, right? And that everything was nice. And a month afterwards, after you broke up, you asked him to go with you. He put down a check for $800. Now you say, at least in here, that he kicked you out of the house and he still had my furniture and a refrigerator that he wouldn't return.
Correct.
Our lease was up in February and he was supposed to give me back my share of the deposit. He didn't do it. Since he refused to return my furniture and security deposit from an apartment that he kicked me out of, I let the dealership cash his check. Nowhere in here do you say anything about gift. He told you to forget about it. I mean, I know you're smiling at me.
Judge.
And you have a counterclaim. I am counterclaiming. After kicking me out of the apartment, he never returned my furniture and refrigerator, which were worth $1,600, that he refuses to give me.
He has all my furniture, Your Honor, and unfortunately, this $800 was a gift. When I did that, I didn't remember what happened. And then when I went through all my paperwork, I realized what had happened. And I saw that it was a gift. And all the items that he still owes me as well, I have receipts for. I have several pieces of furniture and also...
I don't care about your furniture, madam. You told me this was a gift.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Nowhere did you write gift here.
It's because I didn't go through my paperwork, Your
What do you
Honor.
have to go through your paperwork for?
Because I didn't realize...
Where in your paperwork does it show you gift? Show me where in the paperwork it says gift. That your recollection was refreshed after you went through your paperwork. Show me where it says
No,
gift.
Your Honor, I don't have anything that states that it was a gift.
Well, just a second. So that when you went through your paperwork, what refreshed your recollection that led you to believe that now it was a gift?
Because the conversation that we had, he sent me a letter in regards to the $800.
Well, then let me see it.
Okay. Judge, I highlighted the pieces that I remember.
Shh. All right, let me read this. What refreshed her recollection that this was a gift. This is a letter written by you, sir, to her on the 31st of July of this year.
Yes, ma'am.
You write to her, I immediately called you to make arrangements for repayment when you found out that they had cashed the check. You said you couldn't pay me at that time and asked me if I would take several pieces of furniture in lieu of the money. I declined that offer because what I had loaned you was $800 in cash, and that's what I expected back in return. That's what you underlined, by the way. Correct. That's what you highlighted. Then in this letter you write to her, upon returning home from your job, you called me back. That means she called you back and said that you had discussed the matter with your sister.
But that didn't happen,
And
Your
she
Honor.
had advised you against repaying me because all we had was a verbal agreement and the $800 could be construed as a gift.
That never happened, Your Honor. That never happened, Your Honor. Unfortunately, the $800 was a gift.
No, baloney. $800 you owe him. There's no gift. He has no reason to make you a gift after he breaks up with you or you break up with him.
Well, his intention, Your Honor, was to get me to move back with him. And after he found out that I wasn't willing to move back with him, then that's when he said it was a loan. That's the truth, Your Honor.
Madam, I don't think you know the truth. That came up and bit you in the nose.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Now let's get to your counterclaim. You broke up with him a year ago. And you say you left furniture in the apartment after you broke up. And you could have taken all your stuff with you when you left, because you just told me, despite the fact that you wrote here, that it was an amicable breakup.
But I still had furniture there, Your Honor.
You should have taken it with you if you felt as if it was your furniture.
Your Honor, he wouldn't let me take my furniture.
Oh, no.
No, if we were friends,
no,
but
just
he
a
still
second.
didn't let me take my furniture.
Just a second. If somebody doesn't let you take your stuff, it's not an amicable breakup. And you don't call them and ask them to go with you for a car and ask them to put out a check for you if he kicked you out of your house and wouldn't let you take your property. And then he doesn't find out that they cashed his check for months. Now, you've had November, December, January, February, March, April, May. You've had 7 months to file a lawsuit against him for your furniture.
Your Honor, I don't want to have anything to do with this gentleman. He is very abusive, and he is a total jerk. And
then why did you, just a second.
Because
then if you wanted nothing to do with him, why did you call him to go to the car dealership with you?
Because I was in denial, and I didn't realize that.
Oh, well, get real.
Your
Just for
Honor,
the plaintiff and the amount of $800. Your counterclaim's dismissed.
Parties are
sản phẩm mình đang cầm đây là cái sản phẩm serum vitamin C, Zepusin, Tagini, Patisikin, và với cái thành phần là 20% cái vitamin C, là một cái siêu phẩm trong cái việc là làm sáng da và giúp cái làn da trở nên sáng hơn, đều màu và đầy sức sống. Đặc biệt nó còn thúc đẩy cái quá trình tái tạo cái tế bào da và giúp cho da của chúng ta luôn được tươi trẻ và được tràn đầy sức sống. Và đối với cái thành phần betanol, vitamin B5 là một cái dưỡng chất phục hồi da mạnh mẽ, và nó sẽ giúp cái làn da nhạy cảm, bị tổn thương và sần sùi sẽ trở nên được mềm mại hơn. Và đồng thời như là các cái hoạt động như là một cái chất để tăng cường giúp hấp thụ các cái vitamin C, và cái tác dụng của vitamin C thì nó sẽ được tối ưu hóa và giúp cái làn da của chúng ta sẽ được trở nên trắng sáng và mịn màng hơn rất là nhiều. Và cái thành phần adenosine là một trong những cái thành phần quan trọng giúp tăng cái khả năng kích thích cái quá trình để sản xuất các cái chất như là collagen trong da của chúng ta. Và collagen là một cái yếu tố cực kỳ là quan trọng cho cái độ đàn hồi cũng như là cái độ săn chắc cho da của chúng ta. Và hơn nữa, adenosine nó còn làm giảm cái quá trình, còn làm dịu da, giảm thiểu cái kích ứng và cân bằng da, giúp da của chúng ta trở nên là được khỏe hơn, sáng hơn. Và cái thành phần niacinamide, vitamin B3 là một cái dưỡng chất dưỡng ẩm da sâu từ bên trong. Nó sẽ làm mờ các cái nếp nhăn, làm trắng và sáng cái vùng da, và đặc biệt nó sẽ giúp xét lỗ chân lông, và kết hợp với các cái thành phần như là niacinamide sẽ giúp cải thiện cái độ đàn hồi và sẽ làm cho cái làn da của chúng ta được mềm mại hơn.